gonna be. I'm being besieged.
And now, and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 86. And it's another glorious Sunday. We are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm extremely excited about our special guest. And we've got UFC 230, Nintendo Smash Direct, Red Dead Redemption 2 issues, Black Friday and XO18 predictions, and console exclusive sales to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who is not only a huge friend to the realm, but truly has the potential to be one of the most original content creators in the game. This Lord is a true talent in the realm of infotainment with fantastic humor and owner of one of the very best video game protagonist series, The Hero Unlocked. Introducing the creator, host of the Potentially Perfect YouTube channel, the Lord we count on to keep it true about good old Grandpa Nintendo, and the Lord who reminds us all to always stay perfect, making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Dolapo. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Oh,
you're back, goodness. Baby.
Oh yeah, feels good. Feels good.
No doubt, man. Long time to hear. Good to have you back in the realm. Everything is good. Have you been gaming? What's been going on with you, man?
Oh my gosh,
you've been missed.
I've been trying to learn just how to just the editing and stuff like that. It's been crazy with the new segment, and then trying to find time to game and on Wolfenstein. It's been
we got a convert. I like that.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I got some words about that game.
Did you just say Wolfenstein on Switch?
Oh boy.
No.
He just said
listen.
Why are you hearing?
Okay. No, I just because you know, man, y'all was on that Switch wave. I'm gonna tell you, man, don't start off in the bushes early.
No.
Gotta start off early.
Well, because I was looking at it, I was like, I finished New Order, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get two. I was looking at GameStop. GameStop was still charging like $50, so I was like, nah. It's on my Xbox.
It's like 20 for my Xbox.
So, man.
Yo, King thought you were talking about Wolfenstein for what, the Switch?
No, sir.
The Vaseline edition? That's the one.
We don't need that. The blurry eyed edition. The cataract
edition.
It come with 2 cataract converters.
Oh my god. And of course, we got the 4 horsemen of gaming. Those original, actually 3 horsemen of gaming. Those original lords at the round table. Unfortunately, Lord Addict might not make it. He's not doing too well. Please,
Addict is here in spirit.
He's in spirit.
We all know that the pole got him under the ropes.
Oh
my god! It's like 250 dudes out there screaming, "Connect me! Connect me!"
Lord Addict sickness is not due to bend the knee.
You know what's funny, y'all? Listen.
Oh
I want the conspiracy theorists and us flat earthers out there to really look at it for what it is. I mean, every time there's some conspiracy about him bending this knee or something, oh boy, come up sick. Like, I can't hold it. Like, y'all remember last week when supposedly he was sick when Spidey put that web on his head? Remember when Spidey put the webs on his head? So apparently, old boy was sick, but then he got energized after the knee went down.
All right, I will give you that. I will give you. He seemed to get re-energized as you started to pour it on to force him to bend the knee. I will say his sickness did seem to evaporate at that moment. But we are not going to besmirch the great Addict today.
Listen, Spidey saw straight through that. Now, I know through back channels yesterday he was sick. So obviously this is conversation of jokes and joking manner. So I really don't want y'all to really go in on him because he's running from the poll. The poll will still be there next week. Don't worry about it. We can get him with the result. But let's let Addict feel a whole lot better. Our wishes go out to him. Because listen, losing to them MPDs will make anyone sick.
And of course, we have our most technical gamer, Lord. The solo gamer who lives with a single player selfish experience. And also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign. How you doing, sir?
Oh man, what's up, guys? I'm barely awake.
Oh, yeah, I know. First of all, we all are. We're all under the road because I was up late. There was UFC and a whole bunch of stuff. I was at a birthday party, and when I came home, making some last touches, I saw Lord Sovereign tweet something at like 3 a.m. about Red Dead. I'm like, oh, someone gonna be under the rope for the show.
Oh man, I was done. I was watching UFC as well, playing Red Dead, and I'm like, I think from now until I finish the game, like every week I'll give a little mini chronicle of what I'm doing because I'm not really doing much of the story. As soon as I had a chance to get out into the open world, I've just been messing around doing hunting challenges, just like doing bounties and stuff like that. I haven't really done much story. So
that sounds like everybody that's playing that game.
Some people want to beeline the story. I don't want it to end, so that's gonna be the last thing I do. But yesterday, man, there were 2 instances that were kind of crazy. So first one was I was in the bayou, right? So I was in the bayou and I was, raiding some cabins.
I thought you said you was in the bushes.
I was in the bushes. I was literally in the bushes though. So I'm raiding cabins and they seem abandoned. They seem kind of decrepit, run down. But when you go into these cabins though, you see a lot of evidence of voodoo, like a lot of like skulls and like altars.
Oh, you found Satan's cave?
Oh, I know. There's more than Satan's cave. It's an entire bayou of stuff going down. So I raid these places. I find whatever I can find, and I'm leaving. And there was nothing really out of the ordinary, right? So as I'm leaving the bayou, there's a bridge that you cross that kind of takes you back to like normal land. I see a body hanging from a tree.
Whoa!
And I'm like, all right, hold up. Let me get off the horse. Let me see if this guy has something on him. I wanted to raid him. I wanted to loot him too. I wanted to. So as I get off my horse, right, I hear like this whispering, like, psst, 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 hey. And I'm like, what? Oh, and it was nighttime. It was weird. I'm like, what the hell? So I turn around, so I try to loot the dude, and I realize I probably have to shoot him down off the noose to loot him.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, out of the trees come running these 2. They look like just. They look like they're cultists, like bayou cultists that never leave the bayou, dirty. Yeah. And so they come running at me. The first one, I'm able to shoot him and kill him. I had my sort of shotgun equipped, so I popped them. But then it's a slow recoil and a slow reload. So the second one that was coming right behind me, guys, he ran right into me with a freaking 6-inch knife and deaded me right there, like murdered me. Wow. And then it was the most beautiful ambush I've ever seen. It was crazy. So then the thing, when they reload you into the world, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back. I want to see what's going on. Who are these dudes? They weren't there. So right now, that's a mystery to me. I don't know
shout out to Cat Daddy. He said he went in the bayou after watching. He said watching that ritual on Netflix. He said he got right up out of there.
There are some things, and the thing about this game is, right, I haven't done any story stuff. I don't even know if there's any story stuff associated with this. This is just in the world.
That's dope.
That's
dope.
Stuff to find.
The stories that I'm hearing. Is,
and then the second thing is, if you see my last post last night on Twitter, you see that the freaks definitely do come out at night. So I'm happily, merrily raiding barns, and in the middle of the night, and I found something. Check my Twitter.
I'll check your Twitter. All right, no doubt. No doubt. So you doing Ironback stuff after?
We'll do it after. No
doubt. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh,
damn, that's late.
yo, because your joint cut in and out. It did be dirty.
Okay. It's Google. All right, no doubt. It's Google's on that one. Yeah. The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved. Lord King. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Yo, listen, I was gonna call fraud on Addict, but I can't do that. I was really gonna get him, and I can't call fraud on a lot of people this week because they're playing what they love, and a lot of people love this. Shout out to Cali Realness, Chris. Follow him on Twitter. He finished that game. He put 100 hours in. That man has not slept. Okay. I call him Young Adderall.
Say Young Adderall, I'm dead.
This dude, I'm finding legendary carcasses. My taxidermy is crazy. I'm like, wow, like I really can't with you right now. And this week I've been on my PlayStation. If you've been following me on Twitter,
you have been single player selfish experience.
Nah, you know what it is? I hate they in the bushes, man. They are so far in the you in the bio in there, son. Like really,
what is it? Just the community, or I mean, just like that, just not talking to people in your friends list?
I got friends. Please listen, y'all think I'm trolling you right now? First of all, I'm not trolling you. My name on PlayStation Network is Xbox 360 Lover 01. Please add me. All right. And if you see
ringing
me
endorsement
please
there.
Talk to me. All right, please. Because I literally am stuck in no man's land and having FOMO looking at my Xbox, knowing that it is mad joy going on in there. Even if we not in the same game, people are in the same parties talking. All right, it's joy going on in the Xbox. There's no joy in that PlayStation. Now they got games. It's a joyless box, man. It's a joyless box. They got games, but it's a joyless box.
Oh my god!
So listen, man. I did my Spider-Man complete 100% addict.
Yes.
And then I did the DLC.
You got platinum?
You got to check my joint. Check
it. My lord!
If I told you, he's the difficult game conqueror, right? So what I'm gonna start doing is stripping him of his title. So I'm doing God of War now. I'm 40% finished with it now. So I'm gonna knock that snooze fest off because it's a snooze fest. All right, all that crap y'all talking about, game of the year, garbage, straight hot garbage. All right, when you walk in a room and then they give you invisible barrier here, kill the animals, progress, garbage. That was we was doing that on PlayStation 1 back in the days. They ain't changed the formula. They just updated the graphics. So when I'm on Scum Podcast, I'm gonna give my thoughts on it because me and Ashton Luca is gonna go in on that game, and I'm gonna give them my real thoughts on that game, on what I really think about the theories of that game and behind that game. But it didn't change. That's not no game of the year. And if anybody's sitting there thinking, "Oh, it is game of the year," it's not, because it's garbage. It's in the bushes. But I'm gonna finish it just because I brought it.
Compared to God of War now.
You said, listen.
Some people who think that Spider-Man's not even a contender. They don't feel like the heavyweights are right there. And,
you understand what it is? Those people probably, 1, didn't buy the game, 2, didn't really play the game, 3, didn't understand exactly what game design is. I want you to go on top of them, the Avengers tower, look around, free fall all the way down to the ground, then slide your way all across Manhattan to Uptown Harlem, without it loading in, pausing, stopping, and slowing down for you.
Okay.
All right?
Red Dead will have some words for you, though.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I haven't played Red Dead, so I can't say anything about it.
Okay.
All right? I'm not going to sit there and give opinion on a game based on other people's opinion without my facts to bring to the table.
Just knowing you, King, it won't move the meter. Yeah, I mean, you'll appreciate it for what it is. But it's just Spider-Man's more your type of game.
Lane. That's it.
Yeah, that's your lane.
Real medications in the building. Is that Lord Meds?
What's going on,
Good morning, everybody?
Chilla, what's going on, man? Thanks for the last minute come through in the realm. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm sleepy still, man.
Don't worry about it.
It's early out here.
You're more woke than addict. So as you as you wake up, I'll finish off this little monologue. Destiny, in there with Hot Monkey, getting him up to 600. He's almost there. Shout out to Green Mason. He's at 600. That game has did what it was supposed to do, and I know it took a long time for it to get to that journey, to that spot where we was playing Destiny and people feeling like Destiny, fell off and it was in the bushes, because it was in the bushes for a long time. But they got back that feeling of when you get an exotic.
Yes.
everybody in the room stops what they're doing. I don't care what game they're playing, and they say, "What? Which one did you get? Yep. What did you do doing it?" Okay, I gotta go do that, and it's a great feeling now when you get an exotic. It's even a better surprise when you go to the mailbox at the postman
and he's sitting there,
and there's one sitting in there. You like, how did I miss it? What was I doing? Oh my God, how did this happen? I wasn't present. What was I thinking? Oh my God. And you want to replicate it so bad. Listen, I listened to Flashpoint this week. And I listened to LordCognito talk to Lord Ibantis about catching a meatball.
Crazy.
And Cognito said he didn't understand what people was talking about before the meatball. So he said the first round, they pretty much washed the first team, right? And Gambit. And then the second round load up and they call it prime meatball. He thinking it's going to go on like everything and they're going to put the well down. It's going to make it happen. And he said the meatball showed up and he was there with randos. So I don't know how that must have felt because you couldn't yell out to your team, "Oh my God, the meatball is there!" Like, my story is crazy.
Yo, it's lit. Like, that little primeval thing in the Gambit mode for the people that don't know what you keep saying the meatball. It's like this random occurrence, this random boss that the chances of it spawning in the middle of this game mode is very low. But if it comes out, that's if your team beats it, also you have to also win. So if this thing spawns randomly, it comes out, you beat it. That's what gives you a chance for this exotic quest line. It's super rare. It's called Malfeasance, and the gun is lit. So it's like I didn't experience. People are talking about, "Oh, I've seen the meatball." I don't know what they was talking about. So yeah, man, I know what you mean. Like it's lit. It's lit.
I rewound his commentary, I think 30 times to hear his meatball scenario. I couldn't finish the Flashpoint while I was driving because of this. And he said, "I threw the well down for the team as I died."
We're gonna get the meatball.
Carry on, fellas. Kill the meatball. And yo, it's like those little moments, the whisper, and all these little quests. Destiny, Bungie has fun. I honestly believe Bungie always knew what we needed. I believe, and I'm gonna constantly sit there with Sovereign, that Activision was the overlords being overbearing, bothering these dudes.
So funny you say that. I had a good conversation on Scumcast about this. Shout out to Game and Forte. We were all going at. It was actually a great convo, Slow-Mo and the crew. And it was about now that obviously Destiny's in a good place, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like, who you blame most responsible for like the early things? And it was funny. We were kind of saying the same thing. I think most of the agreement with you, King, which is that they feel Activision is definitely like you know what the analogy they use is like. Remember, like back when Puff used to sign our acts, you know what I'm saying, and make them get cheesecake, do all that. Like it's not like a bad deal, but it's like, who do you blame, right, man? It's like if you trying to get on and you shopping your demo, and nobody's listening, but then you got the evil Activision, like, yo, you signed this 10-year.
It's the locks. Yeah, put the locks on the shiny suits.
You know what I'm saying? We got you. You know what I'm saying? So we understood Bungie's decision, even though probably the deal probably wasn't the greatest, but. Yeah, we actually talked about. Shout out to Luke and the crew. That was a dope episode yesterday.
Yeah, that's in my queue too. I got to watch that too as well. I try to watch everybody's podcast, but I feel that they stepped away from Bungie and let Bungie be Bungie, because if y'all think about it, and I really want you to really think about this, all those things that they're doing is in Bungie's DNA.
Yes.
Right? So you can't say that somebody woke up being different from who they were, and then like they were one way, they changed for a little bit, but then they went right back to who they were. No, they were always that person. It was just somebody that was
Anchor starting trouble. All right, get to him. He's like, all right,
Anchor. This is how I'm gonna shut you up right now.
He's not wrong though.
That fallout. No, what he needs to do is he need not to anger me today, because that fallout comes out on the 14th. and it looked like it fell out of contention of everything. So what I want you to do is fall back.
Fall back
before you become the fall guy for this whole segment.
Yo, damn. Yeah, for my man on blast, but he said it's Bungie's fault for leaving Microsoft and choosing to join Activision. It's their error in judgment. Listen, here's the thing, and I'll just say it one last time because I said it on Scumcast. Here's the deal. I get what you're saying. You go to the devil, you gotta sleep in that bed, but at the same time, here's the deal. Remember, when they were over at Microsoft, it was kind of, I don't want to say slaving, concentration camp kind of stuff, but they were forced to pump out nothing but Halo. They didn't have that creative freedom that they wanted. So they left, no doubt, which you're right. And then they're trying to get on the market. But if you're shopping your demo to all these publishers and no one's really rocking with you except this one dude, you know, at the dotted line, what are you really going to do? What's the alternative? To go under? You left the house. You're trying to step out on your own, and it happens. So I hear where you're going with it, but relax yourself.
I'm done, but I don't want to get, because he's gonna anger me, and I'm gonna really tear apart his game, and I don't want to do that.
Listen. Well, you gonna set off? Or should I set off the combat real quick?
Oh, okay. Listen.
This combat, y'all.
Oh, my man! Hello, how you doing? All right.
Let's do it.
So let me check this out, right? Because the combat talk is up right now. You can get the beginning of the breakdown of the fight going, and if you don't have any knowledge of the knowledge, I gave you some knowledge, so you can use that with your friends. But check this out, right? I knew this dude ain't have a shot in the world. Everybody in the world knew he ain't have a shot in the goddamn world. But and to be honest with you, I don't like when they take guys that aren't ready and they take them from their hype, because this dude just finished fighting like 2 weeks ago, and they like, yo, fight the champ. What? The champ, fight the champ. And his legs wasn't ready. Y'all saw when the fight started, he was backing up. You like, what happened to my man's? Where's my man's at? Why he ain't attacking? Because somebody in his corner said, yo, wait for Cormier to make a mistake and you break him in. Like, somebody stupid in his team decided that was the greatest idea in the world, when your man should have just, I don't care, put, like Addict says, and I don't like saying it, hey, cover your ears, kids, balls to the walls. Mm-hmm. He should have just went in there and just, I don't care, win, lose, or draw, try to kill him.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Mm-hmm. And he lost just for that.
Let's get into it. So Lord Meds, I'm assuming you watched the card last night.
For sure.
I saw the tweets. The tweets were lit, sir. So give me your assessment. Obviously, we're talking about the main. Actually, before we get to the main, you know what I'm saying? Obviously,
I like that new dude I like. I found a new guy.
Yeah, I know you talking about Stylman. I know. So here's the thing. Like, what's some standouts for the card, Lord Meds? Like, what are some things that you really got excited about and about the card overall? What was your assessment?
Best performance, Israel Adesanya for sure. Dude is a sniper. Like, his reach is crazy. He's skinny as hell, but he'll still push you off.
Yeah.
Stuffing all those takedowns and then pick them apart.
Jones a little.
He walked through them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I mean, the Cormier thing, it wasn't impressive because that's exactly how I thought it would go.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it was all right. I was surprised about the Jacare thing. I felt bad about Weidman. Dan Miragliotta failed him.
Yeah, let me jump in on that too, because I'm glad you mentioned that fight. That surprised me. Soft, did you see the Weidman Jacare?
I did. I kind of got the feeling that it almost felt like Jacare was in front of Miragliotta. He didn't necessarily see when he hit and how his eyes looked when he hit, because Miragliotta's pretty good. Like, it just didn't seem like for him to walk over. But what was weird though, once he walked over, he's standing over him, and all he sees is Weidman sort of just instinctively go for the single, but not really be doing it. He didn't see his eyes. I have a feeling he didn't see his eyes, because otherwise I don't see him doing that. It's quick. It happens in a couple of seconds. I don't think Jacare, though he had to finish him off, I don't think he hit him with anything substantial, but he shouldn't have had to do that. But I mean, I've seen worse situations where refs just missed it completely.
I feel you. Yeah, I mean, I jump in on that one because that one's intriguing. Because unlike Lord Med, I am a Weidman hater. I've been waiting for his fall. He broke my hero down. He stopped my Anderson Silva. So no doubt, but I do respect him, and he's really talented. So it's just weird to see like how far like these losses are going now. Because it was like it's been Romero. He lost to and he's been getting like knocked out. Like it's not
to Gegard Mousasi as well.
Mousasi,
Mousasi surprised me. And then let's not forget, he ain't really been the same since Luke Rockhold. That's how I know. Luke Rockhold since that, and Luke Rockhold, who knows what happened to his chin now too. I don't know what's going on with him. But at the end of the day, I was surprised with this because it felt like I thought Jacare's the older guy.
Right.
And that they were going they were going at it, bro.
I know. I watched the whole joint, and when I saw it, like Sovereign said, maybe the ref didn't get a chance to check it and see it, and it shouldn't have went as far as it did. But who's to be upset?
Oh man,
I think Weidman had a run early on where he seemed sort of invincible. And it just seems like when he got really paired, he caught Anderson sort of on the downtrend.
Anderson was joking.
Right. And then and generally just on the downward trend. He's getting older already. He wasn't necessarily the same fighter overall. We saw that when he fought Chael, at least the first time. So I mean, for me, it just felt like he got caught by guys that have more varied skill sets and are just stronger all around fighters.
Right.
And he's not there. And for whatever reason, I think also he's surrounded by people that feel to me like they're really a lot of yes men are in his corner and not pushing him to the next level.
I don't think he has a next level. I think matchmaking got him to as far as it got him. And now when you're forced to fight people that you don't necessarily pair up with properly, and you got to win these, he's not winning them.
Right.
You know, it's like
he's come close.
You're putting there.
I'm close though. He's been in all the mixes for the most part.
In the mixes. I just think at towards the end of the fights, like he doesn't need to be standing all the time. I think I understand not standing against Jacare. But once let's say, but his wrestling is good enough that if it's late in the fight and he's just trying to ground and pound him, I think you should at least give it a shot. And
I think there's a difference between great and special, and he's just a great fighter. He's not a special fighter.
Mez, what do you think about the whole, like just Weidman as a whole, like his arc and him as a fighter?
It's tough. I love Weidman, but he's a New Yorker, so I mean, he definitely is on a downswing, and he never evolved. You know, he's a wrestle boxer.
Yeah,
he's like a really big Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, in a way.
And he's slow, and his chin is kind of bad.
not as good.
And his chin is failing him.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I guess, like I said, I watched it. I was just surprised that it felt like Jacare just out-toughed him. You know what I'm saying? Kind of walked him down. And don't get me wrong, Jacare was getting lit. His nose was broke. It was
I had Weidman winning that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he was winning.
And at the end of the day, I'm like, the younger guy is going to prevail. So when he just dropped off my screen, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And then you know when you're out of it and you're still going for the ref takedown, and the ref was like, bro, it's over. Like, stop. And he ain't know where he was at. So anyway with that. But as far as the main event, obviously we had Derek Lewis. We had the thing. It was just like King said. I mean, me and Mez, we talked beforehand. You know, this is how we saw it most likely was going to go. I don't feel Derek Lewis was necessarily ready. And we knew he had to punch his chance, but
that's all he had.
Yeah, that was it as far as I'm concerned. And the last question I was going to ask y'all was, obviously now that Bones is going on with Gustafson, I've heard that Bones said he is not interested in a DC Bones 3. What do y'all think about that?
Let me tell you two things. Two things, right? And this is the reason why Cormier was so distraught after the Bones fight. Somebody told him if he works really, really hard in his life, that he can achieve everything. Right? And you know how when it's not. I'm not giving hate because he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. There's a difference between a great fighter and a special fighter. See, a special fighter is Roy Jones Jr. A special fighter is Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, Oscar De La Hoya. These are special fighters. Anderson Silva is a special fighter. Special fighters can get away with not training for a couple of days and still come in and beat the brakes off of a great fighter, right? So a great fighter has to be at his physical peak. If you looked at that Cormier fight, he was in the second fight was in tip-top shape.
Was at his best. You're right.
Right. His body was phenomenal for that fight because his body in this fight looked like horseradish. But in that fight, he knew that he had to be 100% to beat Jones. He knew it in his head. And when he got knocked out the way he did, it broke him down to a point that he was questioning a whole bunch of things at that point.
Yeah, that's the only thing real cry. We got that real cry. I remember.
Yeah. The one thing that gave him solace is the fact that he came up dirty afterwards, right? And I think that's Bones' crust. You know, all our special fighters have a severe flaw.
Yeah.
Right, that brings them down. And Cormier will lose that fight to Bones. Clean Bones, dirty Bones, whatever it is, he will lose that fight to Bones because Bones, no matter what, is a special fighter, and he knows he's special.
Right.
He will beat Cormier 10 times out of 10 times.
Chad Jones waxed him while high off that coca. Okay. Shout out to J Street. Cormier cannot beat Jones. He has his number, period. The chat agrees with you. I mean, it just
I think that it's a styles thing. I think Cormier has Jones has too many physical attributes over Cormier. He's taller, he's longer, he has his balance is ridiculous. So Cormier's strengths of being able to take him down don't work with Jones. Like he nullifies his entire game.
No, you're right. I definitely what you're saying. Last thing, Lord Meds, in reference to that, would you like to see it, or you feel like, you know what, it's not even a good
I agree with King 100%. John Jones, you know, you could argue DC is like a top 5 fighter. John Jones, I would argue, is the very best fighter of all time.
Yes.
He's never going to beat him.
Yeah, you can make the argument.
Yo, but he'll beat the hell out of Brock, though.
Yeah.
He's gonna destroy Brock.
Brock doesn't like to get hit. Brock doesn't. But I say this, right? I say this.
Him down though, I don't know.
This is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Brock is not Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
Brock will throw those hands on your head. If he feels that's the only shot that he got. He will throw those hands on top of your head, and if he lands one of those lunch boxes on the side of that dude's head, because this guy, if you think I got big hands, he got this. He blocks out my face. All right, that's one of his hands. He land that lunch box on that dude's head. I'm intrigued.
Anything's
the
possible.
UFC is gonna make gonna make Jones and him fight. So
I tell you this, Cormier's more natural at heavyweight. His power, everything translates better to heavyweight. Like he ran through people in strike. Like he did. Like he's never lost that heavyweight. That's where he belongs.
Yeah, I agree. He was doing that out of respect for Kane. That's
exactly. And to be honest, I mean, Kane in his prime, I would have loved to have seen that fight. I would love to have seen that fight.
Oh, yeah. But I heard DC used to drag him because remember Kane went to him for the Olympic wrestling training.
Right. So you know, hey, I just think this is where he belongs. He's not going back down. They're gonna strip him of the belt, and that's that. And leave well enough alone.
Yeah, no. Shout out to Chris Smith calling John's Bone young nose candy. That's what's up.
Oh man.
All right, gamers, you've endured the UFC talk.
Yeah, we didn't got y'all because you got people in there asking for Chris Cyborg versus Nunes. Y'all trying to go deep with this.
Exactly.
I need this King and Fonzarelli, right?
Talk, bro. You just missed the longest combat talk ever. You got to.
Oh, facts.
See, look, that's messed up because I just said Jay Fonzarelli right now. Hey, Meds, did I meet you? Because your face looks crazy familiar.
He New York though.
Yeah, he New York, right? Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, we might have bumped.
Yeah, probably I did. Yeah. we're about town. No.
And of course, we have Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So yeah, man. For me, it's been so busy, man. I've been so much real life stuff going on. Not a lot of gaming, unfortunately. So King, you could put the fraud report on me. I have not been gaming. Just
I keep the fraud report on you. You don't know.
lightly touch that screen. That's about it. I still ain't even got my horror story yet. Like, oh man. But I finally got ordered my new PC rig. So
oh nice.
Contest, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Help me get my little pocket busting recommendations, my little
what are we looking at? What are we looking at here?
Go crazy though. I know y'all want to get the 2080 and all that. Nah, man. Like I'm not really trying to use it as a gaming PC. I wanted to go like CPU heavy. Right. So i9, but I just got like a 1070 Ti.
You got nothing looking like that right there. You looking like that right there. You got a little something right there. That's what you working with. You working with the. See, I'm doing the double screen for you guys. But right there, you ain't got that little something. That right there.
I feel it. Nah, man, like I said, it was time. You know what I'm saying? I'm running off a really old rig, so it's like it was time to really step up the game. So I'll be jumping in at the master race, and then shout out as soon as I did it. Shout out to was it Blizzard making the free Destiny 2 announcement?
What's up?
I was like, oh,
enticing you.
Yeah, so the clan ain't feeling me right now because I'm out here spreading 60 frames per second.
It's nice on PC, man.
Yeah, that's what I heard, man. I gotta see what it's about. And Bonk has been wanting it for so long, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not abandoning my console crew, but it's just funny teasing them and starting trouble. So
well, you could abandon them, right? Technically, you could still be in the party because Microsoft allows you to still, party chat. And you could be gaming over there, because Microsoft does that.
That is true. We shall see. Anyway, that's what we got. So now, also, I wanted to announce real quick. Obviously, Lord Solve, are you going to do your bank or?
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's do the bank, and then I'll make my journey. I'll do a state of the round.
Okay, it's that time of month again, ladies and gents. The palms have been greased.
Woo!
I'm ready to dispense. So it's time to say thank you to our Patreon subscribers, as we always do every month. As I said last week, guys, if you go to the Patreon now, a lot of the language has been changed simply because Patreon is trying to get away from language that talks about any sort of giveaways or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to determine like what's the difference in tiers. So just know that everything that we had in place before is still there. The $10 giveaways, $20 giveaways, t-shirts, and the bi-monthly game giveaway, it's all still there. We just can't write it that way anymore. So till we figure out another way to word this stuff and we go have back and forth with their sort of customer service to figure out how to do it, it's just gone. So, but just understand that it's all still there, still happening. So
that's what the language.
Yeah. So let's go through just giving thanks to all you guys who have been supporting us. We really appreciate it. You know that trying to do different and bigger things every single month. So again, thank you for your support. So let's start off with Lord Whiskey himself, Corey Leidick. Thank you so much, my brother.
Whiskey in the building. What's up, baby?
ILP family. And we got the PlayStation Bra.
PlayStation brother.
Thank you, bra. Then we have Lord Kareem H, aka Car Masters. Thank you so much for your support, brother. Much appreciated. Lord Fastback himself. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for everything.
Salute to NLG, man. I was up on their show. They had a great show, man. Friday. They showed me wild love, y'all. They gave me
that's NLG, of course. Then we have Lord Michael Lugo, Monkey Punch himself.
What up?
Thank you, my brother. The Lord of Back Compat, Bill Stillwell. The Lords from day one. Thank you so much for the support.
Always love with the Great Wall.
Lord Twos, aka Ricky Moore Jr. Thank you, my brother. Much appreciated.
Yes.
All the love and support. Lord Spoonman, another man from day one. Day one, always here with the Lords. Thank you so much for the support.
Ride or die right there. Shout out to Spoonman.
My fellow Vanderlyn gang member, Jay Fonzarelli. Thank you, my brother. Look out for his Red Dead review coming soon.
Yes.
11 out of 10.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. king of the stream team, and the Gleam Master, Lord Snaldo himself.
Yes, Petey in the building.
Petey in the building. Thank you for all the love and help, brother. He's on it. Like, absolutely just indispensable help to the Iron Lords.
To the realm.
Then we go to Lord Loaded Pixels. Bird one. Thank you, sir. Cobera, thank you very much for the support. Of course, Lord Cat Daddy.
Cat Daddy in the building, in the chat.
In the building. Thank you. I love it when he's in the chat. I know it's not easy for him, but I love it when he's in the chat. And our man from Portugal, Death Singer 1.
He said he bribed you this month, so
I'm sorry. That's not that. I'm sorry. I'm talking about I jumped somebody. Death Singer, thank you, my brother. You know, Lord Snail Killer Diago Padral, thank you, my brother.
What's up?
And of course, last and certainly not least, the Lord of Coding himself, Optimus Code.
Oh, the OG. That's
always repping. OG.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for the support. We really appreciate it around.
Thank you guys for all the support as always. We truly appreciate it. So let's get into these giveaways. So there's no game giveaway this month. That'll be next month. Getting ready for that. So start picking out what you want to get. So let's start off with this $10 giveaway. All right. So the $10 gift card goes to Lord Optimus Code.
Code.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
No doubt. Okay. So now
triple OG Optimus. Yes, sir.
What do you say? Triple OG Optimus?
Yes, you go to Cat Daddy code the triple OG Optimus. Facts.
All right, so now let's get into this $20 code, and that goes to
who pays
Lord Loaded Pixels Cobera with the 20. Yeah, that's
your random generator is actually working now. That's what's up.
The random generator. For anybody who the palms are greased, man. No, this is old school love, you know what I'm saying? There's no palm greasing needed.
we know coaches in like 3rd, 4th grade, bro.
Yeah, man. So now let's get into this t-shirt giveaway, right? And actually we're getting 2 t-shirts because I forgot. Big shout out to Lord Spoonman from last month. He paid it forward, his t-shirt went, and I forgot to do it during the course of the month, so we're gonna give away 2 today. All right. We got 2 t-shirts. So the first t-shirt goes to Lord J Fonz. J Fonz's t-shirt.
Yo, I don't know what's up, yo, Jay, who you paying, Jay? Who you paying, Jay? Who you paying, Jay? Because Jay done won every month on a consistent basis, and I want to know. Listen, Jay, we gotta get together. We gotta play this lotto. You pick the ticket.
For real, yeah. I need
and I'm gonna give you the money, and we gonna split it that way.
Yo, Chris said, he calls young Rigonomics.
Young Rigonomics.
He said, "Hey, Fonz says he'll pay it for." What does that mean, Fonz? You taking it, or you want us to re-roll it? Because we're gonna send it to you, bro. But if not, you let us know. Anyway. Continue.
All right. So the second t-shirt goes to Lord Death Singer.
Oh, yo, it's funny.
Oh yeah.
That was like, yo, what's up? All right, Death one.
Yeah, listen. Death said he paid you 3 times, and his name better come up, and it just came up. This is out of control.
Yo, give it to someone else. He's got a crispy black shirt from us already.
All right, cool. So let's re-roll.
You don't want that crispy red though?
Yeah, that's true.
That red crispy. I don't know about that re-roll. I don't know.
If he said he's gonna roll it back, so then he won't run it back.
Greedy. I want all the colors. When I get all the colors, then somebody else can win. Until I Thanos it, nobody else will win.
All right. So thank you, Lord Fonz. We'll re-roll that. And
they didn't even give the man a chance to say no.
Fonz just said, I can't wear red out here. I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, you in Cali. They might shoot you up or something.
The winner of the re-roll t-shirt is Lord Cat Daddy, who has like 1 million t-shirts.
Jeez, now that is Thanos. Cat Daddy is Thanos.
But here's the thing.
I got Cat Daddy right there.
Y'all want to win? We got these prizes, but if it's only the same people in the Patreon, we can't expand it.
Yeah, exactly, guys. Just remember, we make jokes about this, but as we don't have a huge number of patrons, so certain names will come up twice.
Yeah, y'all keep showing up in the chat. Like, why can't I win? You can win because these dudes keep winning every month. Put your name inside. You probably win tomorrow.
They know they have they're like, yo, man, these guys got 15 patrons. We're gonna clean house every month.
Like I said, he not giving back nothing. He said,
he needs one for every day of the month, man. Let's go.
Jay-Z Green on deck. That's what's up.
He said, I'm taking that green, baby.
So yeah, that is that for this month. Once again, thank you for all the support, guys. We truly appreciate it, especially with these these moves that we've been making lately. Things have been changing a little bit. Every little bit helps. Thank you so much for the support, and we got more things coming. Obviously, we're already looking down the road, looking at PAX, looking at E3. There's things coming. Check out the Teespring stuff. We got some new lines coming. We got some new colors there already. We got the Thanksgiving colors, the green that people have been asking for.
And orange, though.
And all of that could not happen without support from you guys. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
The link is in the description for the Iron Lord shop. Get that real swag, like Saul was saying. Also, just real quick announcements. We got to get into the show. We take long. Yo, what I was gonna say is, Lord, obviously, the holidays are coming up, and we're trying to do more giveaways. So we are going to announce State of the Realm announcement fresh on ILP. The latest giveaway. I'm gonna throw it up in the chat right now. Boom! That Smash Bros Ultimate is out there, y'all. Make sure you enter the giveaway. Do what you got to do. We're trying to give this thing away. It's going to be a digital copy. Unfortunately, it's going to be US only, y'all. US only.
It's open to everyone, but it will be US only. Because the thing is, all of these consoles are pretty much region free. But when it comes to digital codes, the codes are usually region locked. So if we sent you a disc, which is just a pain in the rear, you can play it on pretty much any console. Same for Nintendo or cartridge, whatever. Just digital codes are region locked, and that becomes a problem.
Facts.
Well, what I want y'all to do, I want you to do this. Like, if you guys are, and I'm gonna give you hustle. I'm gonna give you game right now. This is game. Tune in. This is game. I'm giving you game. If you, how game share with somebody, kick them off right now. Go game share with somebody in the United States, right? That's what you do. Somebody in the United States. And you have the code. When you get the code, you have the United States dude put the code in. Boom, bang. You and him together. Look, you done contributed to his stack. Y'all good. Y'all playing the new game, the Smash Brothers. It's on. Game share. Share with them. Oh, but that's Nintendo. Oh man! You know how they do. They game share is on a limited basis,
and you gotta give over your life to game share. Then
I suggest you do not give your firstborn. Never mind. I think back the hustle. Nintendo. Nintendo wants you to send your first tooth that came out your mouth when you was a baby. They want that tooth. They want a couple of more DNA samples instead of stool sampling, and maybe you might get it.
Yo, you savage. Yo, shout out to Egg. He said we savages, we frauds. Giveaways locked for 11 minutes. It starts. You can blame Lord Sonaldo for that. Take all your complaints to Lord Sonaldo. But
he said it's a lot. You tried to leave right now. You trying to leave in the middle of the show? Yo, so you know somebody just told you it's cookies down the block. You just watch the show. Do it after.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, again, thank you guys for supporting us. Like I said, we've been trying to do more with the giveaways, more with the Patreon. Please, if you haven't signed up, even if it's just a buck, man, get in there, get these shirts, get these things. We got stuff to give away. Get part of that ILP Patreon. So soft, his proms can be greased, and he can.
Yo, you just said a buck, right? This is just, bro. Boom, mind blown, right? Put the dollar up, right? Put the dollar up. Walk away. You see these guys getting T-shirts, right? Put the dollar up, boom, walk away. If you don't win for 20 months, that 1 month you win, pay for itself. Boom.
Yeah, basically.
Facts. I'm putting the description, y'all. Get in there, man. We got some cool stuff going. So we're gonna get into the show, man. We running late like crazy. But yeah, man. So that's what we got. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing. So obviously, you know, we got the Lords in the realm, and obviously Dolapo, he has already received the deep dive treatment. He's been in the realm before. So make sure you guys check out ILP 42, because Dolapo has a tremendous history and impressive gaming history. So yeah, just want to know what the latest, what's been going on with you, Dolapo, with your channel and stuff like that. I know you've been MIA a little bit. So and then also I wanted to know, just a revise real quick, if you have any revisions to your top 5. So just a short little run through, just to get everybody up to speed with you.
Yeah. So recently we added a new segment to the channel called Hero Unlock. Basically every week what we do is we pick one protagonist, and we just highlight their development, their lore, and their legacy within gaming. And so but I mean, you know, there've been other channels that did that before, so it was like, oh, what do we do to, you know, make that unique? And so we decided not only we're going to add our brand of, you know, humor to it, obviously, you know, we're gonna do little segments within it that help break it up, you know, do little interviews, or we do jokes, and actually bring in people who don't really know that much about gaming, and we make sure that, you know, they leave themselves a little more educated about, you know, what's going on in the gaming space, especially with that particular character. So it's been really cool interacting with all these different kinds of people and that kind of thing. And it fits into my major. And so like I've been trying to, you know, with everything, I'm trying to get better at editing and everything that's going on with it. So
nice, man.
Yeah.
Love the new series. Love the guys. Got to check it out. They have a great one up right now. Like they did. I believe you did Lara Croft. You did Pokemon one. You got some great protagonists that you guys are doing and deep dive with it. Video production is very high quality as usual. I see you out here moving. It's good to see that activity. And I just wanted to, since you came back, and I know we maybe did top 5 with you last time, but any changes to that list? Has everything remained the same?
Absolutely. So
with that new top 5.
I just Wolfenstein creeping in there.
I don't know. It's so weird to think that like I was asleep on this franchise for so long. And so I popped in Old Blood because, you know, I wanted to go in order. And my goodness, just BJ Blazkowicz is one of the best heroes I've ever played ever, because like the great thing about Old Blood is that in that particular one, BJ doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, it's just profound, poetic, just stuff like riffing off of his head, and it feels so natural. It feels, because like as somebody who's a military, you know, person, we oftentimes we don't think these characters within like video games, movies have any like internal struggle or anything like that. They're just like shoot, kill, whatever. It's not like that. And it's just so refreshing to see a character like this. The acting is fantastic. The story structure, the game kicks your butt. It's overall just a fantastic series of games. And I am so close to finishing Wolfenstein 2. And every time a new chapter opens, I'm just surprised. It's like just constant shock. Saul warned me about that too. He's like, "Oh, you haven't seen anything yet."
No, so you got to the what the F moment, and the what the F moment, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. And then we got the tease for Youngblood, and I'm so excited for that. So Wolfenstein has definitely hit my top 5 for sure.
5. So Wolfenstein's on the list. All right, give me the 4. Give me all the rest.
Oh, so Beautiful Joe's still up there for sure. Beautiful Joe's still 5. I'm sorry. I don't care. The sales speak.
No. It's your list, bro. It's your list. Like it's your list. So I'm just saying, like, that's his list, and I love his list because his list don't look like anybody else's. It shouldn't. It's like a fingerprint. It definitely should. I'm sorry that my disgust of Beautiful Joe came out like that.
That's okay. I understand. The Capcom doesn't hit everybody. It's not for everyone. And then 4 would be Pokemon Crystal, because I mean my age group when Pokemon was so crazy. I just thinking back to all of it. It was wild. 3 is gonna be League of Legends. Just because I put in so many hours into that. I don't want to tell people how many hours I put in. Like it's it's just one of those like it's borderline addicting. Like it's wild. It's wild. So Wolfenstein, I'm actually putting it 2 because I'm just telling, like, when I do a hero unlocked on BJ Blazkowicz, that one's gonna be the biggest one.
Anchor man, you heard that? He's a huge BJ fan. So yo, check that out.
It's
oh my god!
I'm sorry. I just see him.
It's right now in the top 5, yo.
You the one that said it. I'm sorry. I just had to fix it up. That's my bad.
Thank you, Lord Dolapo.
No, it's good. It's good. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And the last one,
everyone should be a big BJ. I'm done with y'all. Who is not?
It's on. You done started it.
That's what I get. That's what I should have known.
Your final 2, sir.
The top one for me is always going to be Breath of the Wild, and the reason why, like, even when you guys were talking about Red Dead and the world and everything like that, you were talking about like all the crazy things that just kept on bringing up things from when I remember when Breath of the Wild launched. It's exactly the same thing, and that's how you know you've created a great world, is when people can discover things and talk about things like, oh, did you get to this part? There's a crazy thing happened. Have you tried this? Try this. Just that kind of discussion about a great open world. I'm telling you. It's just this game is going to be really hard to top for me, especially for when it comes to Zelda, how that works. So
no doubt, man. I'm glad that we got the revision. We haven't seen you in a while, so I always try to ask when you come back.
Yes, yeah. Oh, things change. Things change. Yeah.
Now, Lord Meds, you are new here. Now, you are known in many gaming podcast circles, and obviously you are. Make sure you guys follow him. He's a fantastic follow on Twitter, not just for gaming, but also MMA as well. Fonz, you need to be following him. Well, so tell Ram a little bit about yourself and like just what got you into gaming, and also my fellow NYC brethren. What's up?
You know what, man? When I was a little kid, I got a Super Nintendo, Donkey Kong Country.
Let's go,
dude! I beat that game like 50 times.
Nice.
I was poor. I was mad poor, dude. That's the one game I had. I beat that game 1,000,000 times.
Bro, you worked that game out.
I know every secret, bro. It's crazy. Nintendo stuff. I came up with it, but I'm a PC gamer now, more or less.
I'm doing the side. You gotta educate me now.
And I love it. I still play consoles and stuff like that. I love my Switch.
Nice.
I don't agree with King. the Switch is,
I got a Switch.
Every man deserves.
I got a Switch. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying that these dudes here see what you don't get right now.
Yeah.
And I notice now that you're here, you probably do get it. I'm against all of yous, right? So I see yous guys, and my back is against the wall. Do not make me rage at y'all. Yeah, he did. He knew what was going down. Him and Cognito spoke about this before it went down, and he said he ain't gonna stomach this. He gonna let me die because he lost some MPDs. That's what happened.
About to start his foolishness.
No, but I see somebody said something the other day because I took a picture of my TV and they saw Breath of the Wild at the bottom. I see you frauding, King, and I said, "Hold on, what are you talking about? I got tons of Switch stuff. I got, I got Perfect potentially knows I got all those amiibos in there. He knows exactly what's going on. I don't play that game. I'm probably the biggest Switch endorser. I probably kept them afloat for a couple of months alone on these amiibos. All right, so they know how it goes. I just want original content. I supported the Wii U. I brought all those games already. All right. I want new stuff. So for y'all didn't support the Wii U. So y'all got new games.
Back in now.
No, it's not that you back in. I never left. Right? So when you never leave and somebody keeps giving you the same turkey and mashed potatoes, and they like, yo, here's turkey and mashed potatoes. You never sat here at this table. You sit down and you like, yo, this turkey and mashed potatoes is good, right? Yo, you gotta eat this up. And I'm like, I've been eating turkey and mashed potatoes for the last 7 years, bruh. I don't want turkey and mashed potatoes. Can I get some steak, please?
Very fair.
But go ahead, Lord man. So
sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, King is a trip. And basically martial arts. I love martial arts, and I'm addicted to Hearthstone. And
okay,
I'm a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and
let's go to the BJJ.
I just love fighting.
That's what's up, baby. That's what's up, man. Huge.
I gotta stay away from your ass.
Watch that switch land. You might get
I just love fighting. I can't.
RNC. You know what that RNC, that dog.
Yes, that's young Goku over there.
You don't want the bare naked choke on you?
Oh, yeah. He calls it the bare naked choke.
Shout out to Combat Talk. When y'all watch Combat Talk today, y'all gonna pee on yourself. I got something in there.
Did you play that moment? Did you play the whole thing?
Yo, when I seen it, I said, "Oh, the bare naked choke." Yo, what was funny was I seen it going down the whole time. I said, "Why is he keep giving this guy his back? Stop giving him your back." And when he put it on him, I said, "Oh, the bare naked choke."
Yo, fool, man. Thanks for coming through last minute. Irrelevant. Yeah, Addicts has nothing to do with his knees. Irrelevant native.
Oh man.
Salute to
this is a trip.
But real quick, man, I need, because you're a guest here, I always ask every guest in the round.
Yeah.
Top 5 video game franchises, and I know
top 5 video game franchises.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's go.
Final Fantasy franchise. Street Fighter franchise.
Woo!
Mario Kart franchise.
Okay.
Let's see.
2 more.
That's rough.
I still didn't hear that Donkey Kong. I'm kind of disappointed.
Donkey Kong, it kind of fell off. It fell by the wayside. Yo,
it's in the bush.
Tropical Freeze is the best game I played this year, though. Facts.
Ooh, okay.
I played that a couple of years ago, though. Fact.
Nah, I played it back then. I beat it on Wii U and Switch, man. I had the Wii U, man.
Okay.
Yo, you ain't got no PC games in there?
Bioshock.
Okay.
And,
okay.
And the greatest franchise of all time, come at me, Pokemon.
Whoa.
Oh, no, yeah. Oh, he's here. Guess who showed up? Guess who jumped out of the bushes and in the building? He thought the segment was over. It's still on your neck.
What's up?
Hey, I've been.
Oh, you really in the bushes.
Yeah, you heard that? He's like, I've been.
Your mic situation good, sir. You got to fix that, bro. Because we can't hear you.
All right, is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, how you feeling?
I said I've been up since Combat Talk, but I wasn't jumping in for that. So
you choose to get past that segment and then make your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, man. Glad you could make it. You had a rough night. We're gonna get this moving because we are late. So, last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question. With the technical breakdowns and rave reviews by various media outlets regarding Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbox One X, is this now the definitive reason to own or purchase the X? The winner, or the commanding 75% of the vote, is the yes. The X is the best place to play multi-plats group. Coming in at second at only 20% of the vote with the no, one game doesn't justify purchasing an X. And in last place are Shallows at 5%. I don't care. 864p on the S is the place for me group. The Lords who participated in last week's poll, Lord Dolapo, Lord Ned, I need your opinion. Does Red Dead justify the reason to get a Xbox One X?
Not at that price point.
Can't
do it yet. Nope. I'm sorry. Hit me a bundle. Like, maybe.
The way I would see it is Red Dead justifies buying. Red Dead justifies buying that on the X, but it doesn't justify buying an X.
Got you. Lord Dolapo?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I can't do it for a game. Just one game. That's
what about that $100?
I just bought my S. Personally, I'm just saying I just bought the S. So I don't see that person like that one game
doing it for you. So
yes,
you are part of the 20%. Not agree with y'all. But anyway, that's what we got. New poll will be coming up at the end of ILP. So check.
We do got a poll though. The poll is out.
Oh, no.
We got the poll right now. The new poll is out right now.
I told you, man. I told you the poll.
Nah, you ain't gotta live by the poll. It's just we gonna get poll results. You ain't gotta do what the poll says. We don't want you to do what the poll says. We just want the people to participate in the poll so you can test the temperature in the room so you can understand how everybody feels about it.
Oh my!
I told you, the Pope can agree. It's not happening.
You can check the King's Twitter for
the Pope actually did check the box and he said yes, you should bend your knee.
Into these topics. So obviously we are here for the big one. You know what I'm saying? We got some Nintendo royalty in the building. So yeah, man, Smash Bros. Direct went down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of announcements going on. And just want to talk about that, bring that to the round table. Obviously, they announced the Ultimate Adventure Mode. Looks like a Smash Bros. Infinity War. People were getting their soul sucked away. It was crazy. It was like, so you had that, you got Spirit Mode. You know, we had a whole bunch of features. I just want to briefly just go over a few ones that stand out to me. Obviously, they had 2-player co-op. So when playing Smash online, 2 players can team up on one Nintendo Switch.
It's been like that for a couple of Super Smash Brothers, hasn't it? The co-op thing. Yeah.
I'm just relating the news. Remember, I'm the newbie. Just the newbie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Then they have obviously the Elite Smash mode. They have the background matchmaking. Grandpa getting his matchmaking on. Modes. I thought that was like, oh, look at them getting into the 2018. You know, you could.
Like one thing I want to like point out is why does games like this get an online multiplayer? Games like Mario Party don't. Like it's like it's like they have their foot half in and half out. They're like,
trust me, save that thought because I'm almost finished. And then like so basically you can play other things while you're waiting in the lobby. Tekken, all these games been doing that, but that's cool. And then you got battle arenas. You know, you got the custom battle arenas for your people. You can get that going on. And one of the features I thought was interesting, new smartphone features. So yeah, just when you thought you couldn't get enough of Nintendo and their apps, they dropped the new one. So it's going to make players have that voice chat to use with others in the arenas. The mobile service, I believe, is called Smash World. It's being developed, so it's not even finished. It's still in develop. More details about that service is going to be revealed.
Can we all take a moment of silence to for that character that's a pre-order? Can we all have a moment of silence for that?
We're gonna get into that. All right. So, finally, which I thought was interesting also with the business table was that obviously that they will be getting a fighter's pass, season pass. So it includes 5 characters, 1 stage, each with his own stage and batch of music. We don't know who the characters are, but it's gonna be $25.
He even pointed that out in the stream now.
I was Lord Petty for that. And then yeah, you can buy each individually for $6. And by the way, like Lord Addict said, for those who get that little pre-order, that post-launch bonus will be the Piranha Plant. So tons of Smash news to get into. Lord Dolapo, I want your feeling on the Direct, how you feel about it, and then also about the app and the DLC model.
Okay, so overall, I think this is probably turning out to be one of the greatest values in gaming, just as far as like the characters and content you're getting. We're talking about the music, the stages, the characters, all of that. You don't get in. I'm just saying, you don't get this in any other fighting game. Okay?
I feel like you have to keep saying, I'm just saying. There's a button here somewhere.
No, because I'm looking at the king. Never played Tekken. I'm just saying, I guess you never played Tekken.
You were not comparing Tekken
Mortal Kombat that got like 74 people in Mortal Kombat.
Like these all have DLC, and some of them also have DLC that they announced right then, like before the game comes out.
Hold on. I don't play tracking. I'm gonna call it track. I don't play that. I don't play Tekken. Like they really come with that many characters.
Yeah. And Soul Calibur just had this issue. They were announcing DLC characters before the game even launched. Like these characters were done. They were announcing them before the game came out.
He just followed.
Can I ask you a question? Because I've been having a hard time with this lately, right? And I all you guys, except for probably Addict, come from buying the cartridge and everything is on the cartridge. And if they wanted to, you know, like you know, rake you over the
except for
coals.
addicts?
No, because you actually came into the digital age where DLC was more acceptable. Like us guys,
in the past 8 years, you know, I've been playing since the N64 and Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah, I don't know the way you be sounding. You sound like you did something yesterday.
What do you mean the way I be sounding?
I'm just saying. All right, so okay, let me include you into this. All right, I'm gonna include you.
Go.
All right, even though I'm gonna exclude you, but you included.
Well, it is what it is, man. I'm not the one going around defending that I beat God of War, so you know it is what it is.
It is nice because I'm on there too. Be quiet. The thing is, wouldn't y'all actually be a little bit happier if they decided to start charging $100 for the game and all the DLC is everything is there? Just beat me one time for the game. Don't beat me repeatedly over a period of years. Just give me everything all in one shot and leave me the hell alone and stop digging in my wallet type of thing. I'm at the point where I'm sick and tired because I finished the Spider-Man DLC and I'm like, man, you know what? You guys could have actually just put it all in one package and allow me to unpack it at my leisure for the $89.95 and leave me alone.
Season pass included price from.
No, I don't want no season. I want that season pass done. I want that DLC stuff done. This is content that they didn't say, oh, yo, the game was finished. We sat back and we delivered and no, this is premeditated murder that they're doing on your wallet. You know, like
the Undead, he said announcing DLC before the game launches sucks. Period.
Yeah.
I think with them, it's just that's the way they do things now. When it comes to like, they want to keep their game in the public conscience for as long as possible. If you get all of that stuff up front, if you're hardcore, you're gonna blaze out that game for a month or two and then move on. If you're not, if you're casual and you still pay that money, you'll play it for a couple of weeks tops, and then it's done with. You're not thinking about it again. But if they tell you there's gonna be DLC and modes and whatever coming down 2 months down the line, it still stays in your mind. Like, okay, you know, people are talking about it again. They give it to you in one shot. That's that.
All right, shout out to Anchor. He said they already do that, King. It's called the Ultimate Editions.
But I don't think he's getting fundamentally what the hell I'm talking about. Because I'm not talking about an Ultimate Edition pack. I'm talking about the game. No more $60. All right, stop the $60 crap because the game isn't $60. And I know you're sitting there saying, well, it's a la carte. You don't have to purchase it. But they want you to. And they're afraid to tell you $89.95. They're afraid to say $89.95.
Well, the price of the game market has remained stagnant, right? In defense of these companies, right? You know, these games are not getting any cheaper. So we do know that for the most part, $60, you know, it not moving from that point is tough. You know what I'm saying? So for course, I'm not trying to justify. I'm just saying like they're figuring ways to try to monetize and to get more money out of
this. Is what I'm saying, Cognito, right? Make better games, right? But all right, Red Dead. Let's get Red Dead, for instance. Millions of you guys was ready to snap that credit card, to put that in, right? Now, let them have said, well, Red Dead is $89.95. All that extra stuff that's supposed to be in there, every DLC, everything is in there. It's already in there. You got it. We're not going to come into your wallet anymore. I don't think the people would have backed away from that. I think actually people would have just said, you know what?
But you're saying that as the only option? Like that's
only option. Don't.
That would have been the game to do it.
Because I think that's what Anchor's talking about, that they're giving you all these options at launch. Okay, if you don't want that, here's the $70 version. Here's the $100.
Don't do no different versions.
It's just one version with everything. Yeah.
Get down and lay down.
No, listen, but at the end of the day, I mean, we at least there's for some games there's some options, right? There's some games that do that. It's like, okay, you can get the Ultimate Edition, you know, whatever, Destiny Season Pass or whatever, and you'll have all the DLC, whatever, or you know, you just get the base game. But I want to shout out what Ahmed Sen said. Like, nobody's really talking about inflation, right? That these games, like, it's been 60 for the longest. You know what I'm saying? That out for something. Like, they gotta try to
and you know the cost of development ain't got cheaper.
Let's get back to Dolapo because I wanted to get him. He is one of our Smash guys. Like, back to the whole reveal. Like, how did you feel with everything? Like,
well, if you were following it before the direct happened, there was like a notorious leak that happened, and whenever there's a major leak about Smash Bros, people get, you know, they get their expectations
right.
It's just stupid high, and so Personally, for me, I don't subscribe to any of those leaks. I take them all as fake until I see actually like Nintendo confirm it. So when I got there, you know, they're busting out with Ken, you know, and Incineroar. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is great. Now we have 74 fighters, you know, and then a Piranha Plant, and you know, and
a Piranha Plant, yeah.
And you know, I at the end of the day, I'm still as excited as I was when they first announced it, because just the idea that we have so many characters, we have so much to do in this game. There's so much to unlock. There's so much to still see and hear and experience. And Smash Bros is just one of those games that, like, when you get your people together in one room to play that game, moments happen, like magical moments happen, and that's just what Smash Bros is, and that's what it will always continue to be. Granted, I don't know how they'll ever top this if there's another one. I think that they might have set the bar a little too high for themselves with this one, but I need my man to get some rest because he's looking real tired. And
yeah, let's talk about that, because that this video looked like a Sakurai snuff video. Like, honestly, he looked like he had Reggie on one side and Miyamoto on the other side with guns to his head. Like he looked dead tired. Like, and it's just like one of those things. And this is a pre-recorded thing. When you have an awkward silence in something pre-recorded, you're like, well, why didn't they edit that out? Like, he just looked like he was uncomfortable being there.
Oh, did y'all see the on it when they changed the text and he was like, "Damn it, y'all! This was characters. Alright, this pre-ordered DLC character you gonna get. You did it to yourself." And then it's like, yo, bro, I almost lost.
What about when he said, "When will I ever get some rest?"
Yeah.
I think that was just their weird humor that the Japanese culture has. Like, if you watch any of their stuff, they try to put that in, and it just feels forced. It doesn't feel natural.
I don't know. This Sakurai thing has been.
Remember the Switch reveal? There was plenty of that in there.
Yeah, but Sakurai is notoriously been overworked when it comes to this. Remember, he said he wasn't doing this one, and actually, I think he said he wasn't doing the Wii U one either. And then
I feel like
doing it.
Ain't nobody boycotting this game because he working 100+ hours. What's going on here? Like,
no, but you know how it goes. The treehouse, they're not, no leaks coming out of the treehouse. You know what I mean?
The what house?
There's nothing. Listen. My man Jose Otero went to work for Nintendo. You only hear from him on holidays when he. Yep. Oh yeah, they have him chained to the treehouse.
Yep. Oh man.
So no doubt. So Meds, what about you, man? Did you see the direct?
Nah, man, I don't care about Smash Bros, bro.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? They pretty much like prepare everyone. They're like, this is all about Smash. Don't come in here expecting any kind of nonsense. Don't come in here expecting any Metro talk. This is all about Smash.
I appreciate that.
I respect this. So
fair warning.
He said, "I appreciate that. Thanks. I don't got to tune in."
Smash, like, you have benched your Switch for a long time. You are like 8-Man, who are people who have just been waiting for this game. So with this reveal, did it meet your expectations? Were you pumped up like, yo, they doing it right now?
Talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Addict.
Addict. Because your mic, you know, your mic is it goes in and out, so we didn't get a chance to hear a lot of stuff.
Yeah, my bad.
No, I wasn't talking. I mean, Super.
No,
Smash
I'm talking
Brothers,
about Cognito's mic.
You're talking about me. Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Super Smash Brothers. It's always been a franchise that I play. I remember playing the old, the very first one, the N64, when you just had like 6-8 characters. I really like that they're doing a lot of fan service when it comes to this. For instance, the original roster that you get from the start is literally the N64 roster, and you keep going in from there. So you're pretty much unlocking them in the order you unlock them throughout the whole franchise. So I think that's cool. The story seems generic, but that's just about every other.
Like a Smash Bros. Infinity War, where they wiping everybody.
They've done that multiple times.
I thought that was multiple funny as hell with all the little hands floating in there. He said, "We all got to kill like 10 of them."
I just don't understand why. Like, I don't understand what their fascination is with Kirby. I just don't get it. Like,
Kirby, the same.
Kirby is the dude.
You know what's
Kirby, I
funny?
knew Kirby was gonna make it out of there. I knew it. And he's the most powerful one that's in
he
Smash
really
Brothers.
is. Like, what's funny is Screw Attack did a death battle between Kirby and Majin Buu. Someone from a universe that blows up planets and universes, and Kirby beat him.
Yeah,
because they said like in pure strength, you know, Majin Buu beats him at every angle, but Kirby is so like he's literally indestructible.
Yeah,
you can't kill him.
Yeah.
Like,
Kirby is especially the Goku of the Nintendo.
Yo, you know
he is stronger than the Goku of Nintendo.
They had to tune him down in Smash Brothers because he was too OP. He's too OP.
He almost in every tournament space, every kind of format. Kirby's usually in the top 3 every time.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So overall, you were satisfied with what you said?
I've been satisfied since they told me the roster. Like, now, at the end of the day, this game, you know, I understand people are like, oh, but this is back when they announced that, oh, you know, they only have these. I was kind of surprised it's only 5 characters that they have them for the expansion. Because I feel like when it comes to this certain thing, they can literally keep giving us a game over the characters every other month that people would buy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
now,
they only have 5.
The 2 controversial things I want to ask before we move on to everybody else about the new app that's being released for voice chat and about the DLC model. Do you have any issues with any of those 2?
I got Discord. I don't need none of that.
You just cut it out.
Yeah, I don't need none of that. I'm done with I understand why they did the app. I think that there should have been a way to do it naturally on the console. I don't think they really cared if people think that. It is
natural where it's Xbox Live.
You know, see, their standpoint is they're really focused. Everything Nintendo does is really focused on Japan. Like they.
Uh-oh. No.
He said like they're
to their friends when they're on the sub. But no, you think that's funny? That's literally what's going on. Like they make
we didn't hear nothing.
Their home system.
Your mic just dead. We didn't hear anything, bro. He said Kirby got him. Kirby said. That's what you said. You said they made it for Japan. It's literally.
They made it for Japan because that's where they make these consoles for. Like they make it for Japan and they export them out. That's why, you know, that's why they never.
Facts.
No, he said Nintendo just snapped your neck.
That's why Paul said his mic from the treehouse. That's what they did. He's there.
Right, I hear what you're saying on the Japan market, but my thing is, what about another thing coming in this? And I'm glad that shout out to Johan Zell who brought it up. A lot of people coming in said, "Hey, we thought Banjo would get announced, right?" Remember there was a big rumor in reference to that. Did you think it was happening? I remember. You know, we thought there might be some cross thing going on with Microsoft, and then
I was
pissed.
I think that might be one of those 5 characters.
I
never thought it was going to be announced.
Maybe they announced it at XO or something like that.
I never thought it was going to be announced today because I've had a feeling that was DLC because that's how they're going to convince Microsoft to letting them use that IP. Is like you can have a percentage of the DLC.
Got you.
Fair. That makes sense. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So you're good. Lord Saf and then King.
I mean, I agree with Dolapo. Like this has so much stuff in it. Like it's coming out. Like usually December releases are in the bushes, and that's reserved for games to go and die after anything that comes out after Black Friday. But with this game, like it's kind of perfect for this time of year because it's pure Nintendo love. And even for kids that don't know anything about these franchises in particular, whatever, once you see Mario, once you see Kirby, it moves units. Listen, my 5-year-old nephew, he was Mario this year for Halloween, and his only knowledge of Mario is Super Mario Run, Super Mario on the SNES Classic. And the old Mario cartoons that I think they have them streaming either on Amazon Prime. Right. So the old Mario cartoons were like Captain Lou Albano and stuff. That's his love for Mario. So if his love of Mario stems from that, if he sees a game with all of these characters and Mario picking up on this one and that, it's gonna sell gangbusters.
I don't even think it's a question if this game's not going to do numbers. Like this game, I think
more than usual, because I know earlier when we talked about it coming out at the end of the year, this was in a past show, and we talked about it in relation to Pokemon. You still kind of thought maybe Pokemon would do better because Smash is still. Oh, it just feels like the audience
is going to do better than Smash.
I think Pokemon's still going to do better. Yeah,
it is, but I think Smash is going to surprise in terms of how.
No, I don't. Like it's going to surprise. It's going to do numbers, but I guarantee you, at the end of this, Pokemon's probably going to do anywhere from 8 million to 15 million. That's how the lowest Pokemon selling game.
You willing to put your knees on that? You really you trying to get them knees down in this one?
Stupid. I would never bet against Pokemon. In all honesty, I never would.
I'm just trying to figure out if his knees is about this life.
Oh man.
Anyway, all right, let me fall back.
No, hold up, no. Where do you want to go with this bet?
No. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. See, that's what yo Cognito. This is what that poll do. Let's go.
Yo, I did say Attic going to be Derrick Rose knees at this rate.
So you said that Smash Brothers is going to beat Pokemon?
What's the terms? What's the bet?
So what do you want to consider beating Pokemon? Like, do you want to consider like 1 month, 6 months, like what?
Betting the knee.
That 1 month, baby. That 1 month.
So you think?
And now 1 month and the end.
I don't think this is safe. I don't think.
Yo, potential. Hold on, potential. And listen. Let me tell you. And I'm gonna keep this 100% clear. I want your whole body.
Oh my!
In this picture, I want you to set the camera up across the room. I want your knees. I want the whole body. I want what you were supposed to do last time. This time, I want you officially with both knees on the ground. I want the camera. I want people to see it. I want you to have to walk across the room. You see over there? You see? I want you to have to walk across the room. Put your knees on the ground, all right? And then I want you to walk back to the camera and say, all right, back to the action. That's what I want.
Yo, first of all, the chat is saying, Attic, don't do it, bro.
It's not. I'm sorry.
It's like,
and listen, if you thought me in a Spider-Man mask, if you thought me in a Spider-Man mask was something, you gonna catch me in a whole Pikachu suit. I swear. Go ahead and take this bet.
Who's on what side right now?
Let's he's on Pokemon side.
No, I thought you was talking that Smash crap.
Oh, no.
Sorry. I thought you was talking that Smash crap because you was about to get smashed out.
No,
I thought you was going for that Smash crap.
Okay.
Look at you tripping, man. Pay attention. Click
I'm trying to get your knees, brother.
You're both on the side of Pokemon. Is what's happening.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah, we on that side.
I know people in the community who buy both copies, both versions of the game every time.
Wow.
Themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to that point, like, what is the difference? Besides, it's just Eevee and Pikachu.
The difference is let's go Pikachu and let's go Eevee is going to be trash compared to the one that comes out next year.
In each version of the game, they lock different Pokemon behind each version, so you have to trade with other people. It was initially intended to encourage trading, but what happened is people were like, I don't want to talk to people. Let me get both versions of the game, so I have all the Pokemon, and so that just started being a whole thing. So
yeah, I think that was the original intent that they wanted to. The original one was they wanted to get people to start talking to each other and trading, but then they're like, people are really buying both of them.
Yeah.
Bro, they've been getting me like that since I was a child.
Has there ever been a Pokemon release that didn't include 2 versions? Has it always been like that for Pokemon?
That's all.
Dude, sometimes
what happens is like the games were released in twos in pairs, and then what'll happen every once in a while is they'll release a third version that's like a celebration of both of them, but it's still missing Pokemon, so it doesn't matter.
They had Pokemon Yellow, that was the third for Blue and Red. Then they had Pokemon Crystal, that was the third for Silver and Gold, and then they kind of went away from that until Pokemon Platinum. Now Platinum was the only game in the whole franchise that had all the Pokemon in one game.
Now they did Emerald too for the generation before that as well.
It was weird.
You know what's happening right now? Cognito is looking like these dudes know this Pokemon.
I'm just thinking
when
like,
Let's Go comes out, that's a good place to start.
We figured out their shice. This is what they do to get those numbers.
Yeah. Because listen, when I go buy Pokemon, right? Because I buy it for my son on the 3DS. When I go buy Pokemon, I gotta buy the sun and the moon. I gotta buy the sapphire and the ruby. I have to buy each one, you know, because he's not really out here running in these streets talking to people to get the other Pokemon, right? So I definitely need to make sure that he, you know, he will tell you, I don't have all the Pokemon, Daddy, they're not in here. I'm like, they're in the other one, man. You good. And he has beat me into submission. So when I thought Addict was gonna go that way of the dinosaur talking about the Smash Brothers, I swore I thought he was talking about Smash Brothers. I said, listen, I know for a fact they already got 4 copies from me coming. So and I said, I know everybody in this room that got y'all too. Y'all don't know, but y'all too is gonna have the 2 copies because y'all gonna hear about a wild Pokemon that's inside the 1 pack that's not in the other pack, and you're gonna have to get it. And trust me, that's how you got you. Nintendo is the masters of that. No,
I ain't copping this one though. This one's whack.
Wow.
Yo, wait a second. For this Nintendo head, he's been saying a lot of that stuff is trash.
Or like,
bro, Pokemon is like Pokemon Go.
I don't disagree with him. I don't. I'm still on the fence if I want.
It's not the one.
It's not. What y'all not getting it?
No,
it's not your standard Pokemon game.
Right.
Like
so it's more for the casual.
It's like,
well, no, it's their attempt to make Pokemon Go relevant again.
Okay.
And I feel like they're sacrificing these 2 games to do that. Now it's going to sell well.
The end of the rope.
But the core mechanics that made Pokemon, they're not in this game.
For a person like me, the noob, the fraud of Pokemon, like,
oh, you'll love it.
That's what I'm saying. This is for me. Then they're coming for my
mom. No, they are. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm in. That's what I want.
I'm not saying like it's good if it'll get you into Pokemon and that kind of thing, and make it so that the numbers for the next game are even bigger because you know you have that renewed interest or you have that new interest in Pokemon.
You know what's funny? If the sales on this, if it's a lot lower than we think, and they don't release the next Pokemon games for
that's crazy.
They're like, yo, no one buys it. Let's just go back to the handheld market with Pokemon.
My worry is that it sells so well that they keep
the next Pokemon game does it. Oh, yeah.
Nobody buy this.
I don't mind the Pokemon Go interactions. I just want it to be optional because it feels like a lot of the time like they're making this like something you have to do. Like they don't act like this is something that's optional. They're like, dude, when they were showing me, thank God that Nintendo. There's a reason Nintendo flagged my stuff down when I was doing the live reaction because I was disgusted when I was starting to see this stuff.
Have they said how like do you have to use that Pokeball thing or can you just not?
No, but they won't even use the Pro Controller.
You have to use the sensor on the controller to do the same thing.
You can't even use the Pro Controller. It's not even compatible with it.
That's wow.
What?
No, I love that. I love that. Get down and lay down. I love that. I love that whole thing. You're gonna use it this way and this way only. I love that. I love that because that's testing your resolve. If you're down with this Pokemon and not, like, I love that. I love that taking away your option and seeing where you really at with this.
They're finessing it. They're finessing it though because the Pokeball comes with Mew too. So like it might be another way to just try to get you to.
I'm buying it straight up.
Yeah.
Hey, savage. That is a. Listen, I'm gonna make this comment and we move on to this topic. Basically, I'm surprised at y'all. I thought maybe it's just me. Like as far as the DLC model, like I was in my feelings about that. The fact that they like, yo, Sakurai came out and said, yo, we're not telling you what's in there, but it's gonna be hot. And I'm like, why am I supposed to have confidence in you? But again, most people want Banjo or something like. I wasn't feeling they threw out that plant character and I'm supposed to be popping bottles. I'm like, no, that's not a go. Second,
I think this has been done to me by Bethesda. All right, so I've been already.
It felt like I'm like, yo,
yes.
why nobody with the tiki torches on this?
But I'm gonna tell you this, though, Cognito. I think the ink is not dry yet on some of those characters.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
sense. That's because if they know they're gonna have 5, they probably have a backup 5 and the 5 they want. But they're not gonna tell you the 5 that they want unless they can get the signatures down. So maybe Banjo is in there, but Microsoft is saying, "But okay, well, we want this if you want that," type of thing. And they're trying to figure if that's gonna work. And they want other characters in there that they're trying to get the licensing for. I honestly believe it's that.
Some of these trophy characters too, man, like Akira from like Virtua Fighter, make Virtua Fighter characters actual fighters in the game. That'd be cool.
I saw a lot of backlash with some of the characters that were kind of relegated to the spirit ball.
Right.
The people was tight. Like, how you gonna have my man up in there? He can't, that kind of thing. So I get it. And then obviously shout out to Anchorman. He had mentioned it before. I think like a big Waluigi? Yeah, backlash right now. So it's very curious with that. But again, I was just a little frustrated with that. But overall, look, for the value of what you're getting in the base, that is a lot of characters. I like the old school approach where you unlock everything. I like that.
I like the world. I saw it and said I was immediately overwhelmed. Like with all the stuff that he was doing, I was like,
Can I address something real quick in the comment section?
Oh Lord, go for it.
Platinum is definitely a standalone. It came 2 years after Diamond and Pearl. Go look it up. It's an enhanced version of those games, but it's not part of those games. All the other ones came out the exact same day. All the other ones came out the exact same day.
Wait, what happened, man?
That's not how it worked out.
Talk about what happened, man.
Are you saying that Platinum came out? They all came out after. Yellow didn't come out with Red and Blue. Same thing with Crystal. They all came out after.
Yeah, they were all after.
Like a year or so.
Yeah,
I think Yellow came out later that year though, but I don't know.
Oh, Johan,
he put one to bet.
Oh, Johan Zell ready for a bend the knee.
He trying to get these knees in these streets. Oh my God, people coming for your knees, my man.
Oh my God.
What's goody out here?
He said he have more. He trying to get your knees right now.
I don't know.
He's not even trying to wait a month. He trying to get your sick knees.
I'm done. Look, at the end of the day, feature rich. The game looks amazing.
Crazy.
Tons of things to do. I like that story mode. This thing's gonna sell like hotcakes. It's just at the end of the day. And the last thing though, the smartphone app in the bushes. Come on, don't make a second app after no one's feeling the first.
Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to get on y'all with that.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish up.
Okay. When are we gonna just acknowledge? And we have acknowledged the elephant in the room. And y'all suckers, y'all frauds, is gonna sit there and say, "It's Nintendo being Nintendo." Like, listen, my kids this year for Halloween, well, my two daughters was Mario and Luigi. All right, so I understand that there's an affinity, is in the law. It's y'all got this thing over your eyes, like it's really a veil that is keeping you from seeing the real world. Now, these dudes hit you in the head with this fake online app crap before and say, "Yo, we got the revised app 2." and y'all just said, "True." Let's get that. That sound good. Like, when are y'all gonna fight these dudes back? Like, when is it going? When is enough for you guys? This is all I want to know.
I just don't know anybody who uses it. That's my other thing. Is like, personally, I don't know anyone who uses it on a regular basis except for anything like if they play Splatoon a lot, they get special items in Splatoon. That's pretty much it. But like, no one I know is using it.
That's why they came out with an app.
So they're bribing people to use the app on Splatoon?
Yes,
a little bit. Like,
they sent me something in the mail about getting something free if I use it or something. Nah, man.
On the preferred Nintendo list, I'm dead. Yo, Addict, he has rolled so hard for these Switch dudes in these gaming streets. I heard you don't like that, Native. In these gaming streets, he is on the preferred Nintendo watch list. This brother has got the inside connect. I'm dead. over.
Well, like I said, I mean, it is. We gotta. I do agree with King. Like, there's a lot of damage control on a lot of these foolishness that they get away with. It's a bit much, but at the end of the day, the game looks good. Most people are gonna buy it. It doesn't matter. A lot of stuff to do, but we are going to move on. Lord, Red Dead issues. What's up?
Oh, we actually kept that.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll set it off for you.
No, I can't. It's like, yo, listen, because I thought, we had the guest, and I didn't think it's very small, and I'm just really going at Jay Fonzarelli neck. It's just a simple fact that there's a bug in there in the game. There's a lot of bugs in the game, and for a game to be game of the year, you can't have a bug of this magnitude to be, in my opinion. Right. That if you do a certain thing, and I don't want to talk about it because a lot of guys don't have the game or just got the game and they're trying to get around to it. If you do a out of order, if you go to a town out of order, it knocks the sequence off of the game, and 4 characters disappear from that storyline that you need in the game to progress at a certain point. And it's a bug that they're trying to work out now. Now, my thing is, I know I didn't preface it properly, but can a game with that type of bug, game of the year, can it even be considered game of the year when you didn't test for that type of bug? I can see if you say sheep flying over a cliff or something, you see that bug. But you're talking about a bug where 4 main NPCs disappear from a storyline that you need to progress in the storyline. That's kind of not acceptable.
Interesting. And I want to double down on it because shout out to the Scumcast. Fantastic episode yesterday. And I brought this to their attention in reference to, even Ram was in the chat. We talked about, the perfect game, right? And when a game gets a 10 and media outlets and things like that. So obviously King is bringing up the bugs. Another thing we talked about, and fix your face off. I know you're upset when I'm talking. It's about, the control, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, there's people that have some gripes with it. They feel it's a bit archaic. That Rockstar hasn't updated stuff. Obviously, me and Addict have talked about this last ILP. So I want to bring it to the 2 guests in the realm. Lord Dolapo first. What do you feel about game with maybe some minor flaws or an issue? Is that still considered a 10, or is it more of like, hey, it's still a fantastic game of the generation regardless of these minor things?
Well, I've been saying it for a long time with game reviews and how that goes, that build quality isn't one of the factors that a lot of them go into. And so what happens is, I mean, I knew this game was going to have bugs. It's a massive world. There's a lot of things interacting with other things. It's going to have bugs. However, a story-based bug or something like that that's being described, that is unacceptable. That I mean, why the playtester didn't catch this? Like that's just wild to me. Now, because that can severely cut someone's enjoyment of the game, I don't know if that can still retain game of the year. If it just destroys your progress within the game, like that's I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. That's too much.
So now, so basically now a game-breaking bug kind of puts that off your list as far
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now what if that, let me flip it the other way. What if that bug didn't exist, right? And it was just, you just maybe you had a little gripes with the control, just minor stuff. If it was just if that aspect was the only aspect, would that detract, or that wouldn't affect your?
No, when we give games a 10 or whatever, because obviously a game of the year can only be like a 10 out of 10, kind of thing. When we give a game a score like that, we know that it's going to have faults.
Right.
There's no such thing as a perfect game because it fundamentally cannot exist. That's not. So there are going to be faults within it. There's going to be things we don't like. There's going to be quirks. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be issues like that. But at the end of the day, the game as a whole has to be able to surpass all of those things and make those negligible in our mindset. So when you have a game-breaking bug like that, that's always going to be at your back of your mind. That's always going to be, wow, I had to start over to surpass this giant bug. I did all this progress, and I have to. Yeah, so it's at that frustration, that annoyance, and that's ultimately going to ruin it for me. Someone like me, at least. Yeah. So
fair enough, Lord Megs. What do you feel on the idea of a perfect game? Any flaws, or if something is truly spectacular for a generation, does it overlook that?
I mean, all these games that get 10s and all that, they've those flaws have already been overlooked. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it wouldn't really get that. But I understand that 10 doesn't mean perfect. So there's no such thing as a perfect game. I think when people say, "Oh, it's a 10 out of 10," it's not perfect. I mean, yeah, they can both be true.
Got you. Fair enough. Fair enough. Lord Sav, seething in the corner.
I'm even I'm like, hey, listen, I know full well that that's why I don't like dealing with tens and numbers. Everything is subjective. What I consider to be great, someone else may not consider to be great, and I respect that. So this type of bug though is tough because the story is so integral to what Red Dead is that if you're talking about missing out on missions that could potentially also teach you a game mechanic that you're not able to learn before that. They tied it to a story mission. So if something happens and you run into this bug, you may not learn how to fish. And then fishing is a sort of a big part of some of the open world stuff. So it's like, okay, that needs to be addressed immediately before the HDR stuff, before anything else. And if you notice, like I talked about last week, like Rockstar doesn't care. Like you don't see Rockstar having like this like a community person up front talking to them. They don't care. Like they're listening to everything you say, they're not responding, and they're going to work on it at the pace that they're going to work on it. And obviously this is huge, so I'm assuming this is something that's at the forefront of what they need to get rectified. But there's no communication back and forth between them and the community. That's not what Rockstar does.
You know what I think? I think they sat back and said, they found a bug?
Damn.
No, not that they found the bug. They found it.
They found that one. Yeah. Cool. But I mean, for me,
did they find another one?
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that that it doesn't take away from what I feel is like an absolutely amazing game. No. That said, if I ran into it myself, I'd have a problem.
Gotcha. So let me shout out the boy, 100-hour work week. Then you missed this bug. They should have added 2 more hours to that.
But considering the scope of this game, the amount of other smaller bugs that it has are kind of remarkably low. Like this is crazy. Like if you look at Fallout, Anchor, you're gonna hate me, but Fallout recently had the most epic of bugs ever, where it deleted the entire beta from your computer.
That was awesome. That was awesome. You went at him with something I was saving for him.
Ever.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, listen, J Street, he's like, look, man, it seems to be more people impressed by the realism and detailed the graphics.
Right.
He doesn't want to hear anything. He said, Dizzy made a good point. He was just talking about they released a statement, and at the end of the day, he said it doesn't break the game, though. He said it doesn't affect the main story. From his understanding, it's still cruddy. But what
I heard, it's not game breaking that it folds the game for you. But what happens is that some of the main characters, some of the characters that have big roles in the game later on, are not there for the most part of chapter 2, and then they just jump back in. That's to me. Nah, it's unacceptable. I can't. No.
Thank you for saying it's unacceptable, because if you was sitting there riding with this, I was really gonna be upset.
No. Listen, I'm so into trying to do everything in that game, like every little thing, side stuff, whatever. To miss something like that, it would piss me off big time.
No doubt. Addict, you gonna double down on your position that we talked about, or are you good? He's in the bushes. Okay. Look, I already know how I feel about it. We beat this thing to death. I've said it before. Like Saab said, this thing is very subjective. At the end of the day, it's what the game meant to you, and how much of that does it affect you. I agree there is probably no perfect game, but I do struggle with 10s being handed out like it's candy. And, my whole thing is, King, we from that era, like games didn't get a 10. Like it was very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah. So it's like, obviously when I see 10, those type of things are going to influence me to buy the game. And then unfortunately, because I've seen 10, it makes me look at the game more with a critical eye to see if
he didn't see this, he wasn't playing.
See how they call it a 10 because look at that. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. And unfortunately,
they sound chip.
Yeah, from the experience. But look, man, at the end of the day, it's subjective. It's going to come down to, what that experience did for you. And also, I also feel some of these games that are getting 10s are also a reflection of the timepiece when it dropped, because that particular game was doing something that no other game at that moment was doing. So like it kind of changed the game. So that's why I understand the passes for stuff like that. But we gonna move on as well as the.
I don't want to say one thing and just I'll close it. I don't want to say because it changed from the bug to us questioning if it's a 10.
Right.
It's a 10 for some people. It's a 10 for anybody. Some guys might have that thing as a 10. That's cool. And we in a hyperbole time. This is hyperbole.
Yeah.
Right. So where people want to get on and pile on and start to trend them, and they like the likes, and that's cool. I hear where y'all at with it. My thing is, should it be removed out of Game of the Year contention for a bug of that magnitude to remove integral characters from a storyline game? Like Sovereign said, and that was enough for me. And him saying if he had encountered that,
then it would be
that would have soured him to the point.
Go ahead, Ad. I hear you.
Go ahead, Ad.
Well, I'm sorry, I had an emergency happen over here. What kind of bug are we referring to?
Attic is on it now.
Okay. So let me tell you the bug real quick. All right, there's a bug inside the game. If you go to a certain location before you go to another location, I don't want to say it because I want them to experience it and I want them to be pissed off. And characters are omitted from the storyline that you won't see them. They won't be present, and they're needed to progress in that certain storyline, and then it will pop up like Sovereign said after that chapter is over with that part, all that dialogue, all that story gone. So you miss a large part of that storyline, that little arc. And what I'm saying is, let's say if you was playing God of War and that little gnome dude wasn't there and he had told you a whole big story that you were supposed to get right there, but because you went to the lake and drank that water first, and you go to him and he's not there, and then he pops up later on and he's telling you something else that you have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Did you miss this? And it's story based. Does that knock it out of Game of the Year contention?
So that's what you're saying is there is a glitch in the game to where if you go to a certain point, it pretty much force starts the game from that point on, and it misses everything prior to that.
It misses that story arc. Yeah, four characters completely disappear.
I feel like this game can't be Game of the Year just because of the controls. Like it had. I really feel like a game that forces you to use auto aim and auto assist. Like, I
don't use auto aim or auto assist. You just gotta get good. You just gotta get good.
You don't have to tell me. I don't believe that. Not one bit.
Listen, at the end of the shout to be buddy, he kind of going in. He's like he doesn't know like what Red Dead is doing that anything else isn't. Is that shade? Is that like you don't feel it's like the greatest, one of the top?
That's another thing.
He needs to elaborate on that.
I literally had someone in this industry, someone in this community, I'm not going to say names, say like literally give this game props because it was like a horseman. They're going up a hill and the horse was losing stamina. What the hell?
Yeah.
You mean a stamina bar that's been around for a decade?
You're not going to be screwed with a great name, Red Dead, right now. But we're just going to say it's
wrong with this game. This game's phenomenal. It's definitely a Game of the Year contender. But people handing this game that crown and it's got all these. Why is it if you go and look at these reviews, these 10 out of 10s, no one's talking about any of the control issues? Right. And don't tell me there's not control issues. There's YouTube videos with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. People are having issues with these controls.
Listen, we're not going to revisit it. This will get us back into last week, and we've been here.
Let's go.
Let's move, but we definitely understand where you come from. Y'all going to love the poll. Let's just say that. All right. We are going to get this. We're going to blaze through the last two real quick. We're going to combine them. So Addict and Solve. Addict, you've got XO, rumors, predictions, that kind of thing. And Solve, I'm assuming you've got one talk some Black Friday talk. So let's combine these, man.
Super quick. Mm-hmm. So Addict, you want to go first? Or?
You can go first.
All right, guess.
All right. So real quick, it's that time of year again. Black Friday is upon us. Mm-hmm. And of course, the three major first-party manufacturers are going to try to find ways for you to purchase their system and their games. Mm-hmm. So from what I've been able to see, a big shout out to a Cheap Ass Gamer, because they put out, they have a list. Mm-hmm. They have a list that they put out with all the Black Friday ad leaks, and then they thankfully put it into a Google Doc spreadsheet to make it easy for people to see. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think this year it's a 2-horse race for like who's winning Black Friday, and I think
what's the competition? What people doing? What's Sony doing? What Xbox
I think
doing?
It's Sony, and I think it's Sony. I think it's Nintendo. Honestly, Sony with that $200 doorbuster Spider-Man bundle. I think
it's competition.
That is going to kill.
No competition.
Yeah,
Sony's going to destroy everyone. Now the thing is,
what is Xbox offering?
Xbox is only offering $70 off on specific consoles. That $100 off on the X and the S with the Red Dead, that's ending soon. So that's ending way before.
They're offering the S for like 180 something, 175 or something.
No 80, no bundle, no nothing, no 40.
They're offering the S with for like 200 with a $20 gift card, like certain ones like Target or Kohl's. Kohl's, you're getting like a certain amount of Kohl's bucks or something like that.
Yeah.
GameStop's having some good ones, and that's just because they're adding GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but it's nothing manufacturer specific, right? Mm-hmm. So if we go over to Nintendo has a $300 Mario Kart bundle, which is, they had that last year, right? That is going to continue to move. They haven't announced anything specific for Pokemon, and I doubt they will, but you never know. Pokemon comes out.
Pokemon separate. They know people are going.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is like
Christopher stupid. It says see a disease.
They called it a
disease bundle.
They're not offering any kind of discount on the Switch. Not even a little bit.
Oh, you know Nintendo ain't doing it.
They don't need to.
Yeah, they don't do that. You going?
Yeah. They got the special edition Switches too. They don't need it.
You know what they said, right? Get out of lay down. What they're giving is a bundle. They taking the 3DS and putting it on top of the Switch and saying, "Here, full price."
Black Friday, the consumer expects, discounted products that are like, we're just giving you bundles. We don't do this often. We're just giving you a bundle.
Slow-mo and when they're saying Minecraft bundle. That's what they're giving.
Yeah, Minecraft bundle. That's pretty much it. And each individual retailer probably do like get an extra game or whatever, but they haven't specifically said any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So again, like when you go back to Nintendo, they have the pre-orders up for the Pokemon versions. There's apparently no sort of deal on that. Or at least they haven't talked about it yet. Right. Then they did the smart thing of already offering the Smash bundle for pre-order, even though it's not till December. Yes. So you're able to purchase it on Black Friday if it's available. Right?
That's big though.
That's big. Big. That is huge.
That Smash console look lit. Have y'all seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Listen, I'm gonna jump in real quick. At the end of the day, I don't think nothing touches Sony on that bundle.
No,
it's gonna be ridiculous.
Me last year, we did a big segment. Who's gonna win? We thought it was all gonna be Xbox with the X and Switch with the joint, and Sony quietly racked up that Black Friday and destroyed MPD in November.
And the thing about it, this is supposedly only an in-store doorbuster across the board, but for the Spider-Man bundle. Mm-hmm. But I mean,
time out. Wait a second. Time out. Hold on. Is the red system?
No. It's just a Slim.
Oh, I was about to go put my chair for the Best Buy right now.
The one is only at Walmart. Because is it at Best Buy?
No, everybody has it now. I think Target
doesn't have it.
Yeah, everybody. I'm looking at it right now. Best Buy, Target, Amazon, no GameStop yet. Costco, Sam's Club, Kohl's.
Correct.
I don't think GameStop's getting it because they're offering a $50 gift card with the $200.
Yeah, so maybe not.
GameStop is fighting for market share. They're about to die.
Well, you know, 1 tera PS4 Slim and Spidey.
Yeah, it's a terabyte.
It's a terabyte Slim.
That's a terabyte one. Oh, okay, all right.
Potentially said, I'm about to go camp out right now.
I might have to go cop that because that's
percentage. I would say, Nintendo still has a chance, but not a good one. Like,
Now
you know where they're gonna.
You gonna buy that PlayStation?
Nah.
I love this guy.
Regardless how you feel about it, like they still have Pokemon and they still have Super Smash Brothers. And they're both going to be sold on Black Friday. That could give them the W. It could.
And then Smash Bros is in December.
It doesn't matter.
But the pre-order is available to purchase on Black Friday.
My issue is the market share that hasn't picked up a Switch. How many of them are going to go buy it that doesn't have it now?
But there's a ton of people who are just waiting for Smash, though.
Yeah.
But I feel like between Mario, between Zelda, between Mario Kart, there's a lot that the core would have already picked one up.
True. I think this is the year where that younger market really makes that push for those Switches. Like I think
because the Pokemon, I'm telling you, Pokemon's gonna sell Switches like crazy. Pokemon, I feel like Pokemon is solely the reason why Nintendo projected what they did.
Yeah. And then low key on Nintendo as well. Really low key on Nintendo. They have a kind of stocking stuffer priced 2DS with Mario Maker built in for $80. For $80.
What?
$80.
What?
Now it's the 2DS. It's not the one with the flip.
My son just broke his 3DS. I'm going to the store.
$80.
What? 80 cash? Brand new?
Hold on, y'all. I mean, Mez on this. What do you think about like who's coming out when this Black Friday, man? What's your opinion?
Xbox is third place. There's no way they're getting anything more.
You said Minecraft. You already know where they at.
I can't hear Mez, y'all. I need to know what's his opinion.
It'll be Nintendo this time.
You got the end. So give me practice. Tell me
just because of like Pokemon and then getting ready to get Smash right after. Yeah.
I don't know. I think like money, like revenue wise, I think Nintendo has a good chance of taking that. Right. But I mean, like units sold, it's probably gonna be sell.
But right now, sorry, before we move on, like right now, they're below their forecast, right? They were predicting
it was by ridiculous.
They're really behind. I'm not now. If any two games can do it, it's Pokemon and Smash.
Like 8 billion behind.
They're behind. Who's behind?
Remember, Nintendo had this bullish forecast of was it the 20 mil? I got my numbers maybe off.
No, that's for the fiscal year. That's for the fiscal.
Right.
So that's gonna be March.
Okay.
So there's still time. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people are getting this. A lot of these people are thinking these forecasts and the stuff like that. Those are from analysts.
Right.
A lot of that is coming from analysts. So Nintendo's own is for the fiscal year.
Correct.
The annual. Yeah. So I think Nintendo's fine on that. Yeah. You're right. Like what you were saying. Pokemon and Smash are gonna take care of that real quick.
They're gonna be fun.
All right. Addict XO predictions. What we got?
To be honest with you, man, like. I'm starting to go into this with like low expectations. Like I want them to do everything, but this is first off, I think this is going to be slightly better than Gamescom and like a couple notches worse than E3. Like people are going in there with these is like first off, they said no Fable. Pretty much they said no Fable. So I think we might see a Banjo going to Game Pass or something like that, but I don't think they're going to be remaking Banjo or there's going to be a sequel announced. Like this is inside Xbox. Like people need to remember that this is inside.
I'm glad you said that.
Oh man,
you mentioned. Oh man.
Yeah, like that actually put a wet blanket on everything.
You know, they might do what Moose says. They might bring back the Kraken back to Sea of Thieves. I mean, I can really see them doing something like that. Like, this is the new Kraken. This Kraken has a face and it grabs you. Like, I can totally see them doing something like that. And to be honest with you, you know, if they want to do some big update and that's part of it, I'm okay with that. I don't really play.
You okay with the Kraken body?
I don't care. If they want to update it and put it in there, that's one thing. I think we'll see some games go to Game Pass. I do think that we're going to see some Japanese. One of those. It's neither going to be that fighting game that's on PlayStation, the Japanese one. What's that?
Oh, what you talking about? Yakuza?
Yakuza. It's neither going to be Yakuza or Persona 5 coming to Xbox.
Persona will be lit.
I take Persona, but I'm going to play it right now, so I won't take Persona.
I'm leaning more towards not Persona.
Yeah,
but Twitter gonna be lit if it's Persona.
Be lit. Jump in, man, because I got some thoughts on it. Obviously, I want to shout out Clobro. You know, he been low key. I want to say giving me hype, but giving me hope for Crackdown. You know what I'm saying? Like his leaks have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? And apparently,
he's completely wrong, and he's just been throwing dust out.
Right now, if he's trolling, this is the greatest troll ever because it got me looking at like a game that I was clowning. You know, kind of with some hope. You know, obviously with the 4K, the HDR, they're saying the cloud destruction is going to be in there. The 4-player co-op. He's saying people are going to be really blown away from what they see. And my thing is at this point, just if the game is just solid, like if it's a 7, that's a win to me. Mm-hmm. Like based on the history of that game. So
shout out to J Dubs.
I've been told
you just said 7. And that's all J Dubs has been saying. Microsoft has been knocking them 7s down.
I've been trying to look for like a mid-7 Metacritic.
Yeah, if it's a 7,
no,
I will take it. You know what I'm saying? I will take it.
I won't take it.
82 or 83.
Exactly. Based on the developer health. So for me personally, my wish list, solid looking Crackdown. For sure that. You know what I'm saying? You know, Obsidian would be nice. Let's do the Obsidian announcement. Let's get that out.
Something else. Maybe something else that we don't know about.
Give me some Ashen. We know Ashen. We haven't heard from it.
I think Ashen's
that's about to come.
Yeah. I think they're going to announce that's in Game Pass day one.
Game Pass. I think that's coming. You know,
what about below Game Pass day one?
You know what? I think, Cognito. You playing it mad safe, man. What you got on the catcher's mitt and you got on a whole hockey gear? What are you? Your goalie now? What's up?
I'm full hockey gear. Because let me tell you, every time I get
you've been tired of getting beaten down. That's what it is.
Addict check. Remember Addict? I was like, yo, this last Inside Xbox, it's gonna be lit. Da-da-da. And we watched it. I had to sour his face.
Let me
happen with the rest of the Final Fantasy. The same thing happened.
let me put the battery in your back. I'm gonna put the battery in your back.
I'm not there yet. Mm-hmm.
All right. Mm-hmm. The void is there. Sony don't do their Sony little conference thing. They just washed it away. They put it away. They sitting on their laurels. This new regime at Microsoft, and when I say the new regime, I'm saying Phil, right? Phil and the squad, because Phil is backed by money now. Before they was holding Phil Wallet. They had Phil Wallet inside the Duffy bag. He couldn't get it out. So now they released Phil Wallet. Phil Wallet is working now, right? I believe this is going to be, and I know Microsoft is sick and tired of hearing. Y'all haven't heard Phil talk in a minute, right? Yeah, because why? Phil is doing his thing. You ain't got to talk about a boss when he doing his thing. But right now, they hear how that inside Xbox is crap. They know, they hear it. They like, man, how are we going to fix this? This XO has been blowing up like constantly. It's a time bomb.
Yeah.
You ready? You hype? You feel it, right? You know why you feel it? Because I already know that Crackdown is going to be a smash success. I'm predicting 8.9 in Metacritic.
Wow.
And the reason why I'm saying 8.9 in Metacritic is for the simple fact that destructibility, they would not say that it's there, bro. I seen it. They would not say, "Yo, it's there, bro." If it's not there, and if it's there, that's gonna shut people up.
Something clearly has happened with my connection. Did this man say an 8.9?
Yes, he did.
No, and you know why?
8.9 Metacritic.
I think I misheard you.
No, well, I know what you're gonna yell out. You're gonna be like, "You gonna put your knees on that?" Nope.
I was about to ask you to put your knees.
No. That's just my hope and wish list. All right, I'm not gonna shoot. I'm shooting for the stars for that.
Listen, let me. I hear where you're going, King, and I know. Listen, it does have the energy that it could be different, but I'm with slow mo. I'm with B Money. Like, I'm not doing it. I get caught up in the hyperbole. Every inside Xbox, and like King Addict said, this is an inside Xbox, regardless of if it's in Mexico City. Is what you call it, Major Nelson with the white gloves, the mariachi band. Like,
I'm dead. Y'all gonna stop clowning my man.
They came out. They announced some good stuff. They announced they bought Obsidian.
Two studios.
If they showed one game from any of these studios, the one that's even closest.
This is what I need. Show me, do the Nintendo. Just straight steal the game plan and show a JPEG of something. Just show the JPEG. Like how when they did the Metro.
I feel like that's fair. I feel like they could see the reason they don't want to do that is because of games like Scalebound. But at the end of the day, if you toss out Fable, they know Fable's coming out.
Just put the
what if they show Scalebound? They need rid of it.
If they showed Scalebound,
they could.
I will retire from YouTube entirely.
Yo, I want you to shut up and take that back because you got a lot of people out there that will hound you to death. So I want you to take that back and put that in the bushes. All right? Because your ultimate get back, and these dudes know that, their ultimate get back is to get a game that people thought they loved, and I actually saw it. You don't love
it. Fine, King. I take that back. I see B Money in the chat saying he needs at least 2 games. I think that's unrealistic expectations. Like, this isn't even E3. Like, that's what we expect at E3. I need at least 2 brand new IPs.
Too hype. I'm not getting Dolapo, man. Help me out, man. Like, am I being too cautious? Am I too?
Listen, expect nothing. So if they give you something, you happy.
You know what? That's a good way to look at it.
He said, just throw your expectations away.
That's what I expect at the beginning. When I'm about to start the beginning of every month, I expect my car to break down. I expect.
Yo, Dolapo and Soft, what are you hoping for? What you expect?
I've seen their work before.
Wow.
I'm not.
You've seen Nintendo Direct work?
Yeah, I have, and I'm going to tell you something. Nintendo is usually pretty clear about what they're going to show you, and they let you know so to whether to watch it or to skip it.
That's usually it. Show you 45 minutes of Smash. They mean that shit. 45 minutes.
Yeah, they definitely do. They gonna show you Smash. They gonna give you a quiz at the end for all the information.
Me and Cognito didn't know that. That's how they roll.
Yeah, they're not lying when they say they covering one game.
Yo, we sat there and got tears in our eyes. Yo.
Because at the end of the day, you can't say they lied. Like,
nope, they didn't lie. They did not lie not one time.
Man, I need your perspective, bro.
I mean, for me, I'm playing it safe as well. I don't expect super, amounts of stuff. I'd like to see the Obsidian announcement and something else that maybe we weren't expecting. Some new titles to Game Pass. What that may be, who knows? Actually, talk about the Elite controller. Like the Elite controller, not that that white color stuff. And real quick on the Elite controller, man, I love that controller, but I have to call them out, man. Like those rubber grips on the side coming off, that's not the move for $150 controller. That is ridiculous.
Yo, if you send it back to them, they give it back to you, right?
Yeah, but come on. Like, what the hell? I paid $150 for that controller.
Quality of life, something with the long-term thing build up.
Yeah, so that, I mean, obviously, if the Crackdown gameplay proves that the destruction is in there and it's awesome, that does a lot to sort of increase the buzz around that game. And the fact that we'll probably get something good.
Until further notice, Crackdown can stay in the bushes.
Nah, that's the one I'm hopeful.
And Forza DLC, those developers, I really do.
But Crackdown to me right now, and I hope they prove me wrong, is an April Fool's joke. Like what they've shown. Like the fact that they don't show the E3, the fact that they show but it's not on the floor, it just makes me feel like they're not confident with the moment.
They weren't.
Have a Mexican flag themed controller. I am.
People need to remember this is in Mexico. Something like awesome. But I don't think they would announce it there. Like, obviously, it could be some kind of theme.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, I don't think they would announce it on the E3 on the Inside Xbox show, but it could definitely be announced like on Twitter or something.
So, what about? Do you think we get any Project X Cloud news?
Could be. They already talked about it. Yeah, they could expand and say when the actual the beta testing goes out. It might be before the end of the year. That would be great. That'd be a nice little touch.
Right.
And besides that, I think maybe some talk about like the Forza expansion pass, some DLC. Keep that game in people's minds. And below, man, below has been MIA, man. It would be nice if that game just dropped at XO.
Fair enough. It was
Let me just go real quick. The biggest thing from a realistic expectation, what do you think that they would announce? The biggest, most highest thing that you think is possible that you think they might show?
Some Halo footage? Something?
No, Halo. They already confirmed Halo and Gears will not be there.
No, they're not there.
So it's not Fable. So what the heck can it be?
Tactics.
Yes, tactics.
I think Crackdown is gonna take front and center. I think Crackdown is gonna be front and center, and I think it's gonna amaze.
I feel you, King. I feel where you're going with it. I'm just, I've been hurt.
I know. I see you on full hockey gear. Like you got the helmet, the stick, and all that. Like you really guarding the goalpost. Like this guy is not a striker, no nothing. He's not enforcing nothing.
About and say, Ninja Theory's game is going to get announced.
Okay, that would be dope.
Because the entire marketing team was just there for some reason. Like, why would the whole marketing team be there? Like, I don't think they're in a position to show their game off unless they're there to show something off.
See, I had heard that they were already, before the buyout happened, they were already working on the next thing after.
Yeah, he did say. They asked him in that Giant Bomb interview, what is Ninja Theory working on? He's like, well, I can't go into specifics on what they're working on, but I could say they've been working on it since their last game dropped.
Since their last game. So is that going to be a Microsoft exclusive, or is it something that has to?
He said,
no, that's Microsoft. Sure.
He said,
we own them.
That we own them.
Y'all sit there and be like, yo, we own this Nintendo stuff, right? Well, we own them. So I'm gonna let you know where I roll at. I roll over there. We own them. So game will be shown.
If this is because he compared it to last XOs. Like that was his exact analogy. He compared it to previous XOs. We announced rare. What happens if they go crazy and they announce a bunch of stuff we don't know?
With that pie in the sky. I'm not there with y'all with that.
Yo, Cognito doubled down. He pushed the stick out.
And it's gonna be ILP 87, and we're like, yo, what the hell? What's wrong with them? We're gonna be tight. I'm telling you.
No, we not. We ain't gonna be tight. I'm pretty sure.
Real quick. The most realistic thing that you think they would announce?
Go ahead, Meds. Go ahead, Dolapo.
The most realistic thing is probably just some more nonsense coming to the Game Pass. I mean, once again, like I use Game Pass religiously. I love Game Pass. I think that's one of the best things I've ever spent money on.
I have to have you sit down, my friend.
It's just.
Listen, he's fine. He's doing well.
That's basically what he
Look at him in his red rat.
You know what? He doesn't have any faith in it because they haven't shown him anything to have faith in. I understand what you're saying, brother.
It's not even that. It's just they haven't touted it as that type of show. You know what I mean? They haven't.
They low key have. Like
we have. Yes, they have.
Why don't we do it?
How do you low key?
Compared with the previous XO saying,
yo, I don't want to, get you too hyped, but this show right here,
it might be all right.
Yo, don't get the expectations up. But this show right here,
Why? Well, what does Metatap to think? Because
I don't have nothing, man. Best case scenario, they show Crackdown and it looks really, really good.
Yeah, I don't think Game of the Year material.
I think I have a better chance of winning.
I don't think it's gonna be that good.
Say stuff like that,
like a 75.
Okay,
it'd be crazy. It'd come out and blow Red Dead out the water.
Hold on. King David, Mr. 8.9 on Crackdown. What's the expectation you have?
Yeah, what's your expectation, King? Because you're the most.
Yeah, all right. Me personally, I think Phil gonna come out and he's gonna do the swagger jacking again. He gonna get out there because he knows Sony ain't in these streets and he's shooting shots across the bow. Right? See, Nintendo got their little directs and we understand. We understand.
32 content.
Yo, I really honestly believe, like Sovereign said, DLC talk for the Forza, of course, that's a given, right? They're gonna probably give you a date for the Crackdown. I think that's possible. They're gonna show you the Ninja Theory game or show you what they're talking about, give it a little blowout on that, so you can have faith in the studios that they purchase, right? They're gonna probably announce 2 more studios coming. They're gonna give you a whole bunch of Crackdown, so this Crackdown talk can stop and the hype can build till the game comes out. Ashen is probably gonna pop out and drop out. They're gonna probably give you some below, and honestly, I think it'll probably be like one new IP that we don't know about other than the game from Ninja Theory that'll be there. But I really think. I really think, and what I'm saying is not like a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. But I really think
IPs.
No, think about it. If Ninja Theory is gonna be there, they'll show their thing, right? Whatever it is, name only, concept maybe, whatever. 2 studios we already know about Obsidian, right?
2019. Everybody say you can do the E3 2019 talk you doing.
Yeah, but he thinks it's he thinks it's E3 2019 talk, but it's very small. What I'm saying is very minimum. But we have lowered our expectations to the floor so bad that even if we say minimal stuff, it sounds like it's grandioso. And it's not. This is very minimum stuff. The DLC stuff for Forza, yeah, that's a given. The studio is going to be there. They're going to either talk about their title or whatever.
I think there's
Ashton, yeah.
That Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, and Forza all getting announcements of some form.
Yeah. Look, I think 20 minutes of Tunic gameplay.
I think
gameplay. I think they elaborate on what they talked about during E3. They're gonna talk about like Tunic. They're gonna talk. Maybe they show Battletoads. Like stuff like that. Like shout out to Christopher Hart in the chat. Like he mentioned that.
I don't think
they can show their new Cuphead stuff.
Remember when I walked past y'all at E3 with that face. Remember that face I had? And I said, told you. Listen,
I'm very interested.
Listen. On that next podcast, I'm going to do the same face. Because we're going to tune in. And I'm going to tune in when I come in with the shades.
Okay. You get to talk about the cool stuff you come in with. You right. Let's talk about the stuff you gonna wear if you wrong.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the same thing I'm doing right now. Okay.
Let's do this last question, and I'm just gonna ask you a question, and we'll get out of here because we get crazy over.
Yeah.
Listen, obviously, you got some latest MPD news from our Lord Matt Piscatella from the realm. Oh man,
he pulled up Twitter, man. Hold on. I had to mute all kinds of shit because of him.
So basically, I want to bring this to the Twitter. And what is like making all this noise?
You said Matt Piscatella, that's my man right there. Hold on, I gotta put. I gotta watch my Spidey sense when I gotta watch.
All right, so here's the deal. He sent out a tweet that kind of went viral, And basically, it's life-to-date sales. So that means from when the PlayStation 4 launched till September 2018. Oh, yeah, let me try to do that. Let's actually do it. So basically, what's going on here is he has said, that he basically listed what the games were that, are the kind of like the most sold. Let me get this up there so y'all can see. Let me know if y'all seeing it.
I see it.
Yeah, we see that.
Cool. So let's present to the crew. Yeah, man. So he's kind of got that list, and what's going on is life to date. So what we see here from the PlayStation's launch, Grand Theft Auto #1.
Is that on both GTA 5?
Excuse me.
Is it GTA 5 on both?
Like, yeah, if you look at Xbox, yeah, GTA 5. So let's right. So we got Call of Duty, all 3 Call of Duties. You got NBA 2K, Battlefield 1, God of War at number 7, Star Wars Battlefront 2015, Call of Duty at 9, and then NBA 2K17. So again, this is from digital, full physical purchase and digital purchase. And then as we see with the Xbox, pretty much the same, right? Grand Theft, Call of Duty, the same thing. Battlefield up there. I think it's weird.
Was Advanced Warfare on the other one? I don't think it was.
Right, because it is. It's not.
It was just number 9.
So, and number 7 here on Xbox, and also surprisingly, Destiny 2, right? It's on Xbox list at number 9, Fallout 4 number 10. So I want to bring this to the Lords in reference to exclusives. Now, as you can see, on this list, especially let's go back to the PlayStation list. We're not seeing the Uncharted. We're not seeing Horizon Zero Dawn, so to speak, right? Now we assume Spider-Man's going to get to this list based on next month or whatever, because this is from September. But is this an argument against exclusives not mattering? And I want to bring that to the table because we're not seeing the dominance that I was actually surprised by this list, to be honest with you guys. I thought other. I'm not surprised. So I'm bringing it to the table, man. What do you guys think about this?
I think it's I've always said from day one, marketing deals sell your console quicker than exclusives will. That is proof of that. Even remotely, some of these you can have an argument against that. I mean, look at the top 3 of PlayStation. The World War II, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare. They had the marketing deals for all of those games.
That is true.
But at the end of I don't know who gets the 2K ones.
2K, I don't know if
Microsoft has it, but don't they have a weird thing with it? It's like a weird thing with it.
I wouldn't say. Let me retract. I wouldn't say it's exclusively marketing deals, but at the end of the day, the games that are on that screen on YouTube the most, they generally sell the best. Like, I don't even think it's really exclusive. There's a reason God of War is up there, and going to be there here soon too.
And then if you look at Xbox list, look, you got Halo 5 is number 8, which is
Halo. See, and if you look at this, I hate to say it, but that proves that the Xbox is the shooter box.
I did find it interesting that Destiny 2 was on the Xbox One list, considering that Sony does have the marketing rights there. I was surprised by that.
I don't know what that means. I don't think that means that Destiny 2 outsold PlayStation. I just think that means
absolutely.
That the install base for that install base Destiny 2, more people of that install base pick that game up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It kind of blows my mind that GTA 5 outsold everything.
It don't blow my mind.
Call of Duty sells better every year, but GTA sells more consistently throughout the years.
Lord Mez, let me get you in, man. What do you feel about this? Does this negate the idea that exclusives matter?
I think, you know what, man? I think this reinforces that fact. And here's why.
Talk to me.
All of those games that are on both lists, obviously, that they sold more on PlayStation. Why did they sell more on PlayStation? Because there's more people who own PlayStation. And why do people own more PlayStations than Xboxes? Because they have things there that they can't get on Xbox or anywhere else for that matter. So, yeah, I think that's
you just contradicted your statement.
Yeah, I'm confused.
What do you mean?
You started that. I think that reinforces it, and then you went with it. The reason people have a PlayStation is exclusives.
Exactly. It reinforces that they do matter.
there's 3 games in the top 5.
Oh, he's saying exclusives. No,
he's that they do matter. The fact that
he's saying that the exclusives do matter.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, because these exclusives exist, even though they might not be filling up the top 10 of the most sold games list. The reason why the systems obviously are 2-1 now is because of that very reason, because there's exclusives of
that goes in line. That goes in line with my thinking. Like I've always said, I think the exclusives serve to create an identity for that system, but they appeal most to us. Like the hardcore gamers are the ones. Those first 10 million sales on both consoles. That's who the exclusives appeal to. After that, it's the casual guy that wants to play Call of Duty. It's the casual guy that wants to play GTA.
That Call of Duty World War II, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare is the reason that PlayStation is doing so well. Is because it sells everything every year. It always has a bundle. Right. I really think that Microsoft dropped the ball when they they didn't fight for that market.
Your theory, Addict, is because that goes in hand with Sony's aggressive getting the licenses to these marketing deals for these big games. That also really plays a factor.
I'm not saying their exclusives don't help them sell. I'm saying that for every 10 consoles sold, maybe 2 or 3 are sold for exclusives.
Okay.
The rest are sold because Call of Duty World War II was on a commercial and PlayStation popped up at the end because they had.
But I think that's part of it. Yes, but if you look at the number 1 game, that's a game that again comes out once every 8 years. And
I think we're misconstrued in the list. To be honest with you, I don't think that we're looking at the list in the right prism.
Go for it.
The list and the question that is posed is not about sales. It's about the actual sales of. See, when you see both lists, right? It's not the actual total sales of the games. It's telling you that the dominance in the top 5 of each console has absolutely zero to do with an exclusive title. You would think, like on a PlayStation, that God of War would be number 1. What's the Nathan Drake Uncharted would be like number 2. Spider-Man will be number 3. But what's not happening in these lists is, and it's being dominated by third-party titles, and the question is posed again: are these does exclusive matter to reach these top 5 sold on these systems, top 5 played on these systems, and it's showing you that they don't matter at all, because these games it doesn't matter if these games are released or not. The questions being posed, they're still not dominating top 5 in either console.
But let me ask. I'm gonna get you. Hold on. I'm gonna ask you a question. But what about to Sav's point, which he's saying? Okay, here's what you're saying, but the exclusives create the identity. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, that's what he's
over and play those on that platform.
And people take that into consideration. But I think that's not. I feel like if exclusives meant the way that people, claim they do, people go on these giant rants on Twitter, they'd at least be 3 exclusives on that list.
Yeah, the giant rants come from hardcore gamers.
Back to what Sovereign is saying. Sovereign is completely right. And exclusives build the identity of the system that builds the cult following. Right? We are. Regardless to if you don't believe that you're in a cult, you're crazy. But the reason why Nintendo's list isn't up here is, 1, they don't have those third-party games.
Right.
2, every game there would be a Nintendo game.
Actually, if you look at their sales, I bet you Nintendo would have outsold some of these with their exclusives.
Well, we're not talking about the sales in itself. We're talking about the rankings in these games for these systems. And what we are missing here is just take the top 5, right? Top 5 in both categories, in both systems. No, not one of them have an exclusive game. So exclusives don't matter when it comes to reaching the top 5 on most games sold per system. Now, in making an identity, yes, Sovereign is completely right in that identity factor people gravitate to where they play at, right? Yeah, first 10 million. Yes.
Next question for King. I got one more question for King. What about to Addict's point with as far as marketing deals, like because with the third party?
Oh, I think that works. I think that works in selling systems, right? Now, that's something totally different from what is posed here.
Right, correct.
All right. Now, an overall sales base of systems, like Sovereign said, when you see a commercial of Call of Duty and at the end play on PlayStation, boom, that's in your head. You really, for the casual person, he thinks, oh, I can only buy that there. You know, he's not considering the fact that he can buy it someplace else. Hell no. He said it said PlayStation. That's where he's gonna go purchase. So does it matter? We lost. Well, and I'm gonna keep saying we because that's where my blood is at. We lost the battle when we, one, had misdirection in the beginning, two, lost all those exclusive deals that we had. When that happened, Sony took over and they swooped in and they got all of these things locked down. And it's funny to see Destiny on an Xbox list.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
But remember, this is isolated lists on game, so it's not total overall.
Including me. Said I'm disappointed to see Fallout 4 on Xbox. So many losers bought that game.
You wanted to say something, man?
At the end of the day, you know, I'm not saying exclusives. I think where your friends play more of a matter than where exclusives are. Yeah. Because people will buy another console to play exclusives, but they'll play where their friends are. I think marketing deals have because we're talking about, when it comes to the hardcore, we're a small percentage of the actual gaming community. I do think hardcore gamers have a huge curve on where the console sales end up. More hardcore gamers went with the PS4 at the beginning of the generation, so it's a domino effect. Their friends bought the PS4, their friends bought the PS4, their family bought the PS4, because the biggest bulk of them went to PlayStation at the beginning of the generation. So it was a domino effect from their circle, because one person adds up to two adds up to four, it adds up quick. That's why they say whoever gets to the first 10 million generally wins the whole console war, the entire console generation. And it just goes where your friends. That's the biggest incentive to where you're going to play, is where your friends are. Doesn't matter.
You know why? Because you're a walking billboard.
Yeah, I mean,
you're a walking billboard for your system. LordCognito, and I'm gonna give you a very small fan since I know we got to get out of here. LordCognito swings that switch stick crazy hard. All right, let me tell you, he's out here, and everybody he talks to, I don't care if it's a developer or whatever, he plants the seed in their head for the switch stuff. All right, I don't care who it is. He will do it. He could be standing in line in a restaurant and a game of talk will pop up, but that switch though. And when you turn into that fan and you enter that cult of that whatever group you're in, you spit out and regurgitate stuff to resonate with that person to convert him to your team. PlayStation has done a wonderful job this time, right? There's a lot of that stuff on, and I see how rabid it is and disgusting it is in certain spots on Twitter. They're very bad with it. They come at you very hard. Pause. But you have to understand that the reason why that 10 million means so much is because you have 10 million little heads running around telling people where to game. And a lot of times they're in GameStops. And when you come in to buy an Xbox, you might walk out with a PlayStation if you got the right guy in front of you.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Dolapo, I heard you was going to say something.
No, I mean, it all culminates to tell a very interesting story. Just in that, like King was saying, the top 5 are all of the not exclusives, but they are all multiplayer games. And like Attic was pointing out, for me at least, I know a lot of people, and for me in my workspace and where I exist, they all went with PlayStation because that's what the majority of the people we knew had, and you want to play with your people. And that just makes, that makes sense. Why would you want to play multiplayer games, where there are, like, your friends don't exist? And so that's why, I mean, it's true though. It's a really sad story. And I wish I would have known about Xbox, Xbox's controller before
let's be clear,
I started gaming on Call of Duty and things like that. But that's just the story it is, and that's the story you have to tell when you go out and you tell your friends about consoles. Oh, I got this because that's what come play with us. You know.
And let's be clear, like GTA 5, to Dolapo's point, GTA 5 is up there because of GTA Online, not because of GTA 5 proper. Like GTA 5 would have slowed down in terms of sales if it was still just a single player experience. So much of what that game is now is GTA Online. That's where that's where those purchases are coming from. And then we got to think about just logistics. Like these are third-party games that are out on both consoles. They're gonna sell more than the exclusives. The exclusive has to be super gangbusters to compete with these games.
Good point.
So yeah,
I hear everybody got out before we get out of here. I thought it was interesting. We thought it was interesting numbers coming out. Like this.
I thought it kind of blew my mind that Halo was out so Destiny on console, like on Xbox. And Fallout. Like, I'd like to see what the numbers
are. Yo, he did that Fallout for Anchor.
That's what we got. Wow. We're gonna get into
a better game. So
we're gonna get into this poll. Get out of here, man. Y'all gonna like this one. All right. So when a new IP poll, when a game of the generation or critically acclaimed title like a Red Dead, God of War, Spider-Man scores a perfect 10 by media outlets, does your view change if minor flaws are found during the gameplay experience? The choices are A, no, minor nitpicks cannot affect a masterpiece. B, yes, any flaws found automatically disqualify a 10. C, only if the flaw disrupts or affects the main gameplay experience. Or D, I don't care unless it's fake HDR, small puddles, or the word boy is over.
I know where I'm at.
He's like the ILP vote when it goes up. Lord Dolapo and Lord Ned, an absolute pleasure to have you in the room, pulling double duty for the realm. Much appreciated. Lord Dolapo, where can people find you, and what do you have going on, sir?
Well, you can find us on YouTube, doing what we always do, providing you great information and education with a touch of humor. And on Twitter, as well as PoPerfUS, we post our updates on what's going on our channel. But we also have individual Twitters in which we talk and make fun of games and stuff like that on there too. So you can find us there as well.
Nice. I need some more Hero Unlock, man. I like that series. It's a really good series with protagonists. Love it. Are you going to be doing villains too?
We will be doing villains. We just haven't figured out who it is that we want to start with because we want to make that one. We want to do that special as well.
Nice. Yo, check him out. Yo, Potentially Perfect. This guy's very unique. Great humor, high quality video editing, and like I said, great unique things, doing stuff different than a lot of y'all, man. Please subscribe to the channel. Great guy, friend to the realm. Always a pleasure to have that balanced Nintendo Switch talk up in the realm. Lord,
did he just say balanced? Oh, yeah. God.
Balance.
Oh, man.
You heathens.
Cult leader.
We don't drink the Kool-Aid. That's what's going on here.
Listen, I got Lord Meds in the building too, man. He was holding it down, coming in last minute, man. Where can the people find you? And thank you so much, brother, for coming into the realm of the Lords.
Oh, thank you, man. Thanks, everybody. Y'all can find me on Twitter at Real Medications. Pretty much I only talk about MMA and gaming. So if that's what you're into, let's talk about it. I haven't been playing no games lately. I haven't been up to nothing because I've been training my tail off as of late. Yeah, doing my thing. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, bro. And like I said, we definitely talking that combat talk. That was refreshing. Someone that speaks our language. Really good. Good to see you out here. Please follow him, Real Medication. He's a good follow on Twitter, y'all. Lord Addict making his debut out the back door, sliding in. Glad to have you, sir. We're gonna probably go going on.
I don't know if I want to tell anybody how you just said that, man.
Yeah, Addict, I just hit the pause button. I got you. Good, go.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. You can find me. If you want to know where to find me, you're gonna have to come here next week because I don't want to talk after that one.
Oh. You don't like trying to do the back door. Anyway. Thanks to having me, but I know you wasn't feeling well, but salute for coming through. Lord Sov, what is going on, man?
I'm not doing anything but playing Red Dead. So every week I will let you know what my escapades in Red Dead. And that's probably gonna take me on through to like E3 probably.
You should actually do a live Twitch of you playing. I mean, I don't care if you don't say anything. I think you should just do it because
I think people will get call it. People
no, we should call.
I'm not doing story stuff like
right.
I'm just think messing around in the world.
We can call it the wonderful world of Sav.
So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Shout out to Meds and shout out to Dolapo for coming through. And you can find me on Twitter, LordSav_ILP, and BX Sovereign on the Xbox Live and PSN.
No doubt, man. Lord King bringing the
all right
around. What's going on, man? Where can people find you?
All right. First, I want to shout out our two guests, and I'm gonna start with Meds first. Thank you for showing up. It was a surprise. I didn't know that you was coming through, and I swear to God, I think I know you. But the fact that you said you like to fight a lot, I don't think we're gonna hang out because I don't want to constantly me and you back to back, always out here in these streets fighting. But yo, thank you for showing up, and it was love the positivity. I'm gonna add you on Twitter and see what more of this combat stuff is because I need more background in combat talk.
Yeah, let's talk combat.
Fact.
Yeah, for sure. I'm doing that. Dolapo.
Woo!
My man. A lot of you guys don't know. When I was in a pinch, I ran straight to him because I watched his shows. I don't want to call them podcasts because his shows are encapsulated in nice episodes. They're put together with such an edit and such an eye and such humor that you would be doing yourself a disservice by not checking it out. Jeez. Right? So I went to him and I told him, I need help because we're going to LA and I need this swag and tag and I need the t-shirts, and he's like, I got you. Without anything, I got you. We did a session, we did a one take, and I know he was just like, yo, because he is how I get into character behind closed doors. So we have a good rapport, and we talked on some other merch stuff. The man's mind is in a mind frame of greatness, and we like to keep greatness close. So he's always close.
Young greatness.
Yeah. He's on the precipice of exactly where he wants to be, and I see that in you, sir. Hopefully, also we can get those lost tapes of that of these episodes.
There's a few lost in the ether. There was a few.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. We did a couple of hours of some shows that wasn't actually.
Oh my goodness.
Recorded properly, but I'm always there for this brother because he was there for me when my back was against the wall, and he produced quality. Because if you listen to those swag and tags and you listen to the t-shirts, he did the work and he put it out, and the brother helped us when we needed it most, and I do appreciate it, and I love seeing you doing anything positive, and I love the fact that you came back to the room. I know I went on a little bit long, but this guy can't get enough adulation and thanks from me for what he did for us.
Facts. And for y'all wondering, when we do our prediction series every E3, Lord Dolapo's that man. That's the one that you hear them takes, them verbal takes, the way he edits it up. That's our guy, man. So much appreciate Lord Dolapo coming through for that. Yeah, man, same thing. Like I said, obviously, you know what it is. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We know that Smash giveaway is out there. Please, all the links are in the description in reference to that. And then also, I want to shout out the stream team, man. We got some good reviews up. Lord Snaldo, he's got Call of Cthulhu review up on Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel. Check it out if you're interested. Lady L Boogie, she has the NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. That's up there. Check that out. Kaibatsu is going to have the audio up, the link in the description. As you already know, Lords, we are now on Spotify as well. Get out there, support us on the audio tip, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that good stuff. All the links are going to be in the description. Timestamps.
Hey, LordCognito.
Yo,
did you tell them where we at?
The Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. I thought we drop the knowledge on something else.
Are you aware of where we're at?
No. I'm talking about. Well, I didn't know if it became knowledge yet, but it's obviously not. So
you talking about the okay? Nah, we waiting on it. We waiting on that.
Okay.
Yeah, because
that's why I didn't say.
Whatever they're talking about, I have no clue what it is. But
yo, Addict. See, that's how you step around, and you don't make sure you step inside the feces. You walk around the feces.
Oh man,
making sure that you don't get feces on your foot by overstepping your bounds. See that?
We've got more announcements to come, but for now, we will reserve it to the Smash giveaway. That's in, like I said, links in the description. The obviously the ILP Royal swag with the latest flavors, the latest color waves. Get your shirts, your t-shirts, your socks. You know what I'm saying? Winter's coming. Please support us with that, and obviously the Patreon, because again, when Solve's doing these Patreons, you're seeing the same people winning. So if more people get in, you will have more chances to win. We've got more stuff to give you guys. So, like I said, $1 a day. What is it? What is it with the one with the commercial with Sally Struthers? With
$1 a month will feed the Iron Lord. You know,
feed the Lord.
Feed the Lord a month. I'm starving. If you can't see, I'm drinking water. So please subscribe to our Patreon so I can drink some Kool-Aid.
Nobody's saying watch what you saying. Oh my god. But yo, appreciate it. But obviously, Combat Talk with the King, that's coming, right? Right after.
Yeah. The results is right here. It's already done. It's already done.
And of course, Flashpoint 39 with my man Lord Ebontis. That's up. The Nightfall Solo was talking at Destiny Talk, so you already know what it is. If anybody has anything else, everybody good? All right, everybody.
Daddy Ebontis is crazy. It's crazy.
Man, that's my dude. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. Peace.